Who's the halftime deal tonight?
Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com. Request your virtual quote and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th at Trine University. Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
I'm Joe Parson. Snider getting ready to take on Carroll. Both teams impressive in their season opening triumphs last Friday night. In many ways, Carroll may have been the biggest eye-opener, not only with their 42-0 blanking of Bishop Luers, Joe, but this may have been a young Chargers defense that held the Knights to only 19 yards of pass offense, along with registering 5 quarterback sacks. That's amazing.
That is amazing. A young defense that really stepped up. And after Coach Dinan, you've got to love it when the broadcast starts out and talks about your front four. And that front four was awesome. The defensive ends of Aaron Jackway and Wes Stevens, and the defensive tackles of Larry Seibel and Reeve Muncie. And you mentioned it, Joe. 5 sacks as a group as a front four, 7 tackles for a loss, and they basically disrupted and blew up everything Bishop Luers wanted to do. And they forced 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions for that defense, held Luers to 80 total yards, and really Luers is known over the years as a vaunted rushing attack, held them to less than 3 yards a carry, and got a big play from Tucker Steele, the outside linebacker, on the 95-yard interception return. So as far as defense for Carroll, it was A+ last week.
And the offense wasn't bad either.
Offense wasn't bad either, and what's interesting, how about Jeffrey Becker? Now, if you're a Carroll fan and you hear the name Becker, you know that family always has great athletes. But I was impressed with Jeffrey Becker's composure. First varsity start as a sophomore, Joe, and he threw for 224 yards and a touchdown, and he ran for 68 yards for a touchdown. So I thought Jeffrey Becker did a nice job in his first varsity start managing the game. But the big news with the Carroll offense tonight is they will not have Evan Harris, the senior running back, and he's a good running back, Joe. He had 90 yards on 20 carries, so Carroll's going to have to work around that, but Carroll has lots of weapons on their offense, Joe.
Meanwhile, Snider, well, they were being Snider, rushing the football. Panthers ground out 322 yards on the ground and en route to a 51-0 rout over Northside. And one game certainly does not tell the complete story, Joe, but it is this a Panther football team that less about individual stars and maybe more about great balance, great team chemistry, both sides of the football.
Yeah, you made a great point when you said you felt like Snider was well-rounded this year. I totally agree. You know, we see 468 yards of offense, Joe. but there was a lot of guys that were involved. I thought John Barnes, he only threw 8 passes last week, but 2 touchdowns, and he was on it, Joe. Last year he threw 15 touchdowns, and I think John Barnes has really improved this year and is going to have a big year. Now we know Lenny Bennett, it's special when you wear the number 1 for Snider. Lenny Bennett had 94 yards and a touchdown, but I think the big use for Snider this year, Joe, is the receiving targets they have. You know, we love tight ends. Jermaine Wells, 6'3", 204. He caught a 39-yard touchdown pass. And Dylan Duff, the basketball player, is out for football, Joe. And you know over at St. Francis, you guys love those big receivers. 6'5", 200 pounds, 3 catches, 73 yards for a touchdown. And, of course, Snider always has an offensive line. 275 across the front. So offensively for Snider, 468 yards. Made Northside pay with those 3 first-quarter turnovers, but they are balanced on offense this year.
Panthers, Chargers here tonight, coming up here at Fuller Stadium. Both teams unbeaten, both teams ranked. Something's got to give here tonight, and we will remember it was almost exactly 1 year ago that Carroll stunned Snider with a 38-14 victory. Can the Chargers do it again, or will the Panthers continue to dominate and impose their football will? Answers coming up, as is our Meyer pregame show, along with a visit with both head coaches. Kurt Tippin will join us the other side of the break. And don't forget, this is Russ Bush Day. There's going to be an extended halftime of about 10 minutes, we're told, that they'll be honoring Russ Bush. He's not doing well health-wise. And Jesse Bates, now playing in the NFL, will be back as well. So a big night here at Fuller Stadium and some pretty good football as well. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Factory invoice. Every vehicle on our entire lot at Glenbrook Hyundai. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons. Every new Hyundai on our lot, thousands and thousands off MSRP. Actual factory invoice plus credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit. 30 grand. You pick the vehicle. We hand you the actual factory invoice. That's all you pay. You can get out of your lease or loan today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons. Every new Hyundai on our lot, thousands and thousands off MSRP. Every vehicle, actual factory invoice. Shop online with streamlined purchasing at GlenbrookHyundai.com or come in for a flexible test drive. Think Hyundai. Glenbrook Hyundai on Coldwater Road next to Red Lobster. Call 800-HYUNDAI. GlenbrookHyundai.com. GlenbrookHyundai.com.
With so many deals on the new $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's, it's like there's levels to the value. Level 1. Any size soft drink, McChicken, or small fries, just $1. Level 2. Order up a triple cheeseburger for only $2. Level 3. Or level up to amazing value with a $3 bundle. A McDouble and medium fries or ranch snack wrap and medium fries, just $3. Yum. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Bigger than any box score, local sports are a victory for the entire community. Building up leaders, breaking down barriers, connecting generations, teaching integrity, blazing a trail, sparking our economy. That's why Meyer sponsors hundreds of local sports teams throughout the Midwest. From Little League to the big leagues, uniforms to stadiums, Meyer knows when we support the home team, we all win.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
At Flagstar Bank, we know quality doesn't come from taking shortcuts. That's why Flagstar bankers work with you and take the time to get to know your goals. At Flagstar, we understand that listening to your needs goes into crafting something truly special. Your success. It may not be the easy solution, but at Flagstar, you can always trust that it's the right one for you. Flagstar Bank. What solutions can we craft for you? Flagstar Bank is an equal house.
And we are back with head coach Kurt Tipman. Coach, I know you always expect to do well, but 51 points on opening night, did that surprise you any at all?
Maybe a little. We weren't really focused. These early games in the year, the focus is not, the main focus isn't on the result. It's more about just how are you executing, how are you doing things against another opponent besides, playing yourselves as you've been most of August. So we were happy with a lot of execution things, and then obviously we found a lot of things that we need to work on.
As long as I've been around Snider football, the first premise has always been establish the run the football. 322 rushing yards last week. Obviously, that was paramount. But, we've looked over historically. You've always had a great tailback. You've had a great quarterback or whatever. Am I wrong when I say this team seems to be more about balance on both sides of the ball and team chemistry?
That's pretty astute on your part, Joe.
That's a while.
Yeah, we are. We don't have a lot of superstars on offense, but we got a lot of just good players. Good offensive line, and then a quarterback that just is going to make good decisions. He's not going to wow anybody with his cannon of an arm, but he's going to get it to where it goes. And running back that's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's going to outrun enough that he's going to be productive. And really a tandem, a couple other guys to come in there and spell him that are all capable of making plays with the ball. So nothing superstarish. Alonzo Derrick is a guy that probably has that kind of ability. He's the fastest kid in the area probably, and he's electric when he gets the ball. But other than that, we're pretty just good high school football players.
As far as Carroll coming in tonight, I'm sure you reminded your team about that regular season game against the Chargers. They kind of snuck up on you, 38-14. Breakdown, we've heard so much about their great quarterback, young quarterback, Jeffrey Becker. Talk about what you see on film.
Well, he's got a strong arm. He got a very strong arm, and hence he throws deep balls very well. Has good touch, but throws the ball deep, gets the air underneath the ball, allows those talented receivers to get underneath it. So, and then to their credit, they're not asking him to be a veteran quarterback. They're doing things that allow him to be successful, throwing short, he's not reading a 3 progression and getting somewhere, and he's very talented when he wants to tuck it and run it. So, he's a young guy that's going to keep getting better, it looks like, but he's certainly a talented guy that, I'm sure they're very excited about.
Head coach Kurt Tipman in his 11th year, hard to believe. Panthers 1-0, of course. In 6A, they are ranked in the top 10 in both polls. In the AP poll, number 7. In the coaches poll, number 6 this week. A year ago, they were 9-3. They won a sectional championship, and then they lost the regional at Carroll 20-6. We'll take another timeout, and Doug Dinan waits in the wings as well. He'll chat with us when we return. This is IHSAA football on Fox.
Can a power company provide more than energy? Can it inspire young minds, rebuild lives, and ignite the economic growth of a community? Can it honor the past while energizing the future? At Indiana Michigan Power, we're doing more than the expected with energy. We're working together, investing in the lives of the community, all to create a better future. That's not just energy, that's boundless energy. Indiana Michigan Power, boundless energy. See more at indianamichigan.com/boundless.
You might be one of those people who looks forward to cooler weather. And that's all well and good, but Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that summer ain't over till we say it's over. So they're still rolling with the summer clearance event with savings across the board. Get a 2019 Dodge Challenger Hemi for $389 a month with no money down. Or drive off in a 2019 Durango SXT all-wheel drive blacktop edition for $395 a month. Offers valid to qualified lessees. Minimum down payment required for Durango on select models. See dealer for complete terms and details. And don't forget that Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram also has finance approval plans to get you into the vehicle you want. Back to school, football preseason, sure, fine. But it's still summer, brothers and sisters. Celebrate by hitting the summer clearance event happening now at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram under the giant American flag on Coliseum or always online at glenbrookdodge.com.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late.
And we are back with head coach Doug Dinan. 42 points, a win last week, coach. And, you know, what really caught our eye, I think, was that defense, the shutout to begin the season. And you hold a team to 19 yards passing. You had to be very pleased with the result.
Yeah, we were very pleased with our defensive performance. Defensive line played well, had a few sacks, you know, forced the quarterback to make some quick decisions and throw the ball, and consequently, you know, we had 3 interceptions as well, which one went all the way back for a touchdown. But they played fast, you know, they tackled well and eliminated yards gained. So, yeah, we were pleased with defensive performance.
Well, they always say you win championships with defense. Let's talk about the
That's
offense,
exactly
though. Young quarterback. I tell you what, he didn't look like a young quarterback.
Well, I mean, we're trying to keep the pressure off of him. I mean, obviously, the game's going to be fast for him right now, only being a sophomore, and you know, coming from the freshman level to the varsity level, it's a big difference, you know. But I thought that he handled it well, and more importantly than that I thought the guys around him handled it and eliminated some of that pressure on him as well, you know. And that included the receivers making big plays, offensive line, and it goes on the defense too, you know, because you know the better we can play on defense, you know, the more relaxed the offense is going to be.
Tonight against Snider. Now you got them a year ago, 38-14, and you know, that, to me, should breed a little confidence, does it?
Oh, without question. I mean, you always feel good, you know, whenever you have success at whatever it is you're doing, you know, but, you know, that's 2018, you know, and that doesn't get us the first down tonight. If it did, you know, I would compile those stats and let it help us out. But, you know, this is a new team. It's a new Snider team, and, you know, and our kids are ready to play.
What have you told your kids? What do we have to do to win for Carroll?
We have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides. We have to play physical up front. Offensively, we got to take care of the football, okay, and we've got to make a difference on special teams.
Head coach Doug Dinan in his 10th year, and his Chargers ranked in the 6A poll as well. They're in the AP poll number 14. They're 1-0. A year ago, they were 3-7, and after starting 2-1 to begin the year, Chargers then lost 6 of their final 7 ball games, including a 49-30 sectional first-round loss to the Panthers. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more and kickoff coming up. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
I'm thinking you're okay for that last 30.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Bumper just come back to me at the end of the spot.
We expect a great game from you gentlemen tonight. All right, if I remember right, Black, you won the toss. You elected to defer. You elected to receive. All right,
There you have it, Joe. Snider wins the toss. They're going to kick, so we'll get a look at that Carroll offense led by Jeffrey Becker. Obviously, with the new turf, it is awesome down here. Snider's first home game to enjoy the turf. As far as weather, it is a beautiful night for high school football, and there's a lot of intensity with this game, Joe. These two teams played twice last year, and there's respect down here, but there's also a dislike. Should be a huge conference game.
We'll be back with a kickoff. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. How about that, buddy?
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
At Mississinawa, Indians are ranked number 6 in the ACAC. Woodland plays at Marion Local in Ohio. In Norwell, they are taking on Heritage tonight. Carroll will receive to our left, 3 back in kick return. Cloudy skies, 74 degrees here at kickoff. Winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. Should not be a factor here this evening. Beautiful night for high school football. And we get ready. And here we go. Kick is underway. Comes down far side inside the 10. Across the hash marks. Return across the 20 to the 25-yard line. And the Carroll Chargers, who beat the Snider Panthers a year ago in the regular season, 38-14. They will have first opportunity with the football.
And Carroll needs to get off to a good start, Joe, and Carroll has lots of weapons on offense. We talked about the sophomore quarterback, Jeffrey Becker. Very efficient last week, Joe, 16 of 30, 224 yards, and he has good receivers. I like the tight end, Edward Barnesfield. He's a baller out there, Joe. And Leighton Mitchell had 6 catches last week, 5 for first down, so lots of weapons for Carroll.
Chargers, a little motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Here's the pistol handoff and a run up the middle off tackle the left side. Gain pushing the pile across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. This offensive line for the Chargers averaged 236 a man, tackle to tackle. And that'll be a gain of about 3, a little over 3 yards.
And it's going to be important against the Snider defense for Carroll to be able to have positive plays and manage the down and distance and not get in any trouble early.
Hunter Mertz was in for that first carry, now out of the gun. Here's a screen coming left side, and boy, nothing there. Great defensive read that time by Deshaun Underwood. Came up. By the way, he had 4 interceptions a year ago, played that one perfectly.
Yeah, he's awesome at the defensive back position. And what you want at the defensive back position, Joe, is recognition. And Underwood recognizes that play. And not only does he break it up, makes the big hit, really makes a statement early on. So this is a big third down for Carroll. Carroll would like to get this first down, Joe, and keep that defense of theirs off the field.
On third downs last week against the Lures, they were 5 of 12 for 42%, rolled to the right side. Being pursued, Becker looking, throws on the run. Here's a ball, nearly intercepted, or was it? It was picked off. It'll be Snider's football, 1st and 10 at the Carroll 43-yard line.
And Becker can't throw that ball late. He had the receiver open early on, and you got to let it go. You got to trust what you see at that quarterback position. And that time, Becker was late with it, Joe. And it looked like that was the Snider safety that came down and made that interception. But Becker's got to throw that ball on time, Joe, for Carroll.
Panther defense a year ago had 13 interceptions. They had 1 last week. And it will be the Snider offense now to trot onto the field. They have it 1st and 10 at the Charger 43-yard line.
And it was the safety, Brock Weidman, that got that interception, Joe, and he read that play from his safety position. Big turnover early on for Snider.
By the way, Randy Holtz is starting tonight at tackle. Here's a little counter play and a run-off tackle inside the 40 down to about the 36-yard line. So again, the quick hitting play. Lenny Bennett getting the call. Had 12 carries for 94 yards a week ago. Scored a touchdown. And he will pick up about 6.
Great feet, great vision at the running back position. Lines up right behind the quarterback in the pistol, and he's a force.
Now the Panthers have got motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. Quarterback John Barnes looks, loads, fires into the flats. High ball. That one right through the outstretched hands of Alonzo Derrick. Derrick last week, Joe, only one touch in the ball game, but it was good for 75 yards and a touchdown.
And it was an explosive touchdown because Northside had the angle on Derrick last week, and he just ran away from everybody. So now let's see what Snider does here now, Joe. A big 3rd down for Snider. And what I like about Snider is they've got the 6'5" receiver on the outside, Dylan Duff. I imagine Carroll will double him, but Snider has other weapons.
Barnes takes a look, one back look, and looks to throw the ball in the flats. It's got a ball that, again, was dropped by Drew Sims. He left his feet, even at 6'3", and the senior just could not corral it. A little bit of a wobbly ball, but you're going to say, a former quarterback, that should have been caught.
It hits you in the hands, you'll catch it, and there was no reason to jump on that play. Drew Sims is a good football player, Joe. That time, Barnes went through his reads and zipped that ball out there. So now 4th down for Snider, and early on, looks like Coach Tittman's going to gamble.
4th down and still about 4. 3 wide to the right side. Barnes takes a look, does hand it off. And here is a gain. Let's see where they mark him down at the 34. That's short of the 1st down. So the Chargers have survived that interception. They've held on downs, and they will get the football back.
And that defensive line, Larry Sybil got in there and got a arm on Lenny Bennett that time, Joe, to slow him up and to trip Bennett up. So that's a huge stop for the Carroll defense because you just felt like off the turnover, Snider was going to go down and put that ball in the end zone. So that Carroll defense that stepped up last week stepped up there on that possession. Now, if you're Jeffrey Becker, I've been in this situation, you got to take a deep breath and relax. There's nothing worse for a quarterback than to throw an early interception, but Jeffrey Becker's a good one, and he's got to let that play go, Joe.
Preston Fisher steps in as the running back. They've got a lead blocker up the middle. Here is Becker rolling to the right side, throws, and he's got a catch at the 41-yard line. Gain is all the way up to about the 45-yard line. That one was grabbed by Edward Bransfield. Big target, Joe, at 6'3", 220.
Yeah, Barnesfield's a hoss, 6'3", 220. You love tight ends like that because they like to move them around the formation, Joe, and lots of times those tight ends hang out right in the middle of the field, and as a quarterback, it's a real comfort.
2 wide to the left side. Morrison's in the slot. Here's a running offset run to the left side as they gave the ball that time.
Tucker Steely that time.
Steely in the backfield.
And I think if you get a 95-yard interception return for a touchdown, maybe you get some carries the next week, Joe, after you make a big play like that. But Steely needs to be a factor tonight running that football.
In case you missed it, Evan Harris, we saw him on crutches before the start of the game, so not available to this evening. Now they're going to flip-flop. Preston Fisher offset to the left side. Becker to throw. One step drop, near side throw. He's got a catch out here on the near side. That was Leighton Mitchell. Mitchell short of the first down stick, but into Snider territory to the 46.
Yeah, 6 feet, 175, the senior. And Joe, he had 6 catches for 86 yards last week. But what I like most, Joe, 5 of those catches were on 3rd and 4th down. So when Carroll needed a play on offense last week, Becker went to Leighton Mitchell.
4th and 1, 3rd and 1. Needing a yard. Sorry, Coach. Maneuvering for a clear view here in the press box. And here's the off-tackle carry, and they've got the first down. That was a give to Hunter Mertz, who had 6 carries for 13 yards, scored 3 touchdowns for the Chargers a week ago. They will move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers at the Snider 43-yard line.
When I was breaking the game down, I had to do a double check on Hunter Mertz's stats. That's what I want to be. I want to get 6 carries, and I want 3 of those to be touchdowns. But he's their big back in the goal line package, Joe. When Carroll needs yards, they put Mertz in the backfield, and that time on a big 3rd down, they get the ball to Mertz, and that's a huge sign for the Carroll offensive line to convert that third down.
Shotgun formation. Becker out of the gun. Looks to his left. Now takes the snap on sweep. Hands it off. And looking. Here is Steely. And trying to find some running room off to the right side. Very tough to go lateral against this Snider defense, and there'll be a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, Joe. He's only a sophomore, but you're right. You can't run lateral against Snider. You have to plant that outside leg, turn those pads, and get upfield because Snider has too much speed on defense.
Second and long. Now Carroll shows 3 wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Becker being pursued, steps up, scrambles, got a block, cuts to the 40, down the right sideline, and stumbled out of bounds around the 36-yard line. That'll leave him about maybe 4 yards shy of the first down stick.
And I'm happy with that if I'm Coach Dinan, because that time Jeffrey Becker went through his reads. Everybody was covered. He didn't panic. He tucked the ball and got a nice positive play. So now Carroll's managing the first down markers because they're only third and about 3. This is very manageable. And when it's 3rd and 3, Joe, as you know, you have everything available in your playbook.
Becker last week against Lures threw for 224, scored a touchdown through the air, ran for 68 yards, also ran for a touchdown. 3rd down and let's call it 4. Now they flip-flop the running back to the left side. Short drop, a throw right side. That's no good. Official right away. Intended Leighton Mitchell tried to grab it on the fingertips, but no good, and now they'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and that was just good coverage by Jay Sean Underwood for Snider, and he's made a couple of plays early on, and maybe if I'm Carroll, I'd try the other side and stay away from Underwood, but good defense by Underwood, good stop by Snider, and what do you think, Joe, here? This would be a nasty time for a fake, wouldn't it? It's so tempting, isn't it?
I'm a little surprised that in a game like this they are going to ostensibly punt the football. They did not punt last week against Lures from the 50-yard line. They do pooch the ball, trying to kick it left side to an open spot of the field inside the 10 to the 5, and it's down short of the goal line, right around the 2-yard line, so that one paid off very well as Lincoln Lance was down there to down it before it went into the end zone.
Special teams, and I tell you, Coach Dinan makes the right decision. Special teams were really good last week for Carroll, Joe, and that just tells you that Coach Dinan believes in his defense, Joe, to punt that football, to pin Snider back, and to see if that front 4 for Carroll can get some penetration.
Well, already in this opening quarter, we've had an interception, a 4th down stop, and now a punt by Carroll on 4th down. Snider will take over the football at their own 4-yard line is where the Panthers go back to work offensively. And John Barnes will take a look once again with his offensive line that averages 278 a man tackle to tackle. 1 back look, 2 wide to the left. They'll run the football. Nice cut up the middle, and the gain across the 10 out to about the 11, and still fighting for yardage out to the 14-yard line.
That's Lenny
Bennett.
That's Lenny Bennett, 5'9", 175, the senior. We talked about his feet, Joe, but I love the decisiveness. I love the one cut and let's go. And the thing about Lenny Bennett is, remember, his father was a Marine, so you know Lenny's tough.
Yeah, I like that quick cut, started to left and then just broke it right up the middle. 1st and 10, Panthers. No score, still with 8:06 remaining in this opening quarter. Barnes again barking out the signals. Here's a counter run to the left side. And it will be second effort. Nice spin move by Bennett. Out across the 15. And he'll be marked down around the 18-yard line.
That play had a chance to be huge, but Tucker Steely, the outside linebacker for Carroll, Joe, stayed home, fought off the block, and made the play.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5. Just 1 safety back, 10 up close, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Here's an out pass to the right side, and again, that one is a little bit low and dropped. Alonzo Derrick tried to go down for it, but there's a little bit of a crosswind at stake in this ball game. I don't know if that was the factor, but it looked like the ball was not really a great spiral either.
Yeah, that time John Barnes just didn't fully follow through. He, as you mentioned, he had the receiver out there, Alonzo Derrick, and John Barnes just has to slow down a little bit and get that ball out there because that passing game is there.
Last week, here is Snider wanting to throw on 3rd down and long. They've got a man open downfield. Here's the ball, and it is caught at the 45-yard line. No, they rule it no catch.
That's great coverage by Ray Vollmer. Snider goes deep to Dylan Duff. You're right, Joe. I thought he had it, but at the last second, Ray Vollmer, who's a senior, and it seems like all the years we do Carroll's games, Ray Vollmer is always out there, and he makes the play to get that hand in there and to knock that ball away at the end. So exceptional play by Snider on the play action, but how about Ray Vollmer with the better play to break it up?
Leighton Mitchell is back in punt return for the Chargers. Waits at his own 48-yard line. Snider will punt inside their 5. High snap. They got it away. Nice high hanging ball, drives Mitchell back, hits at the 41, takes an out bounce down across the way at the 39. That's where Carroll will go back to work offensively with still 7:09 remaining in this opening quarter. We have no score between Snider and Carroll.
Feels like a heavyweight match. Both teams feeling each other out. I'm impressed so far with the Carroll defense. I watched them on the tape against Bishop Lewis, and they looked awesome, but I wondered, how that would look out here against Snider. So far, so good, and Snider's always good on defense, but this is a big drive now for Carroll. And if I'm Coach Dinan, maybe I open up the offense a little bit more here.
Preston Fisher checks into the Carroll backfield, offset to the left side. They'll give the ball to, no, it's a quarterback keeper play, counter run to the left. There's a nice run by Becker. He's got the first down all the way up the midfield and maybe a yard deep into Panther territory.
And that's a good fake. And when you run that spread offense, they drill you as a quarterback to be so good with your ball movement. That time Becker pulls it out and just goes right upfield. And how about the family? I mean, his older brother ran on the winning 4x1 relay team in the state meet.
Chargers from the left side hash mark, motion behind the line of scrimmage, right to left. They'll run the ball, and once again up the middle. There comes Becker into the second level of the Panther defense. He's got another first down all the way down to the Snider 36-yard line goes Jeffrey Becker.
And that was the same play, and all of a sudden, Carroll feels like they found something. They run the big tight end, Barnesfield, across the formation in motion, and Becker runs right behind him.
Now playing fast, Carroll ready to snap the ball again. They'll run the ball this time. Straight ahead, dive play inside the 35, down to about the 33. Might get another yard. It'll be a gain of about 3.5 yards.
Yeah, Preston Fisher, 6 feet 190, ran the ball there, Joe. They're going to need him to play well, but I tell you, Bransfield, I love him at tight end, Joe. I love what he brings to Carroll.
Gain of 3, let's call it 2nd down and 7. Check that clock, approaching 6 minutes time remaining here in this first quarter. 3 wide to the right side, kind of a bunch lineup. Becker drops to throw, looks right, screens the ball. He's got a catch at the 31. Breaking a tackle and a gain down to the 26-yard line. Hunter Mertz able to avoid the tackle that was going to be really for a very little gain. Instead, has got them close to a first down, and are they going to call it a first? Yes, They will move the chains. 1st and 10 at the 26.
Efficient for Carroll. How about the play calling, Joe Parson? Just a little dump down to Mertz that time, and Mertz makes the one cut and gets the first down. So how about Carroll's play calling on this drive? I really like what they're doing and the way they're attacking Snider. Snider seems to be back on their heels.
Chargers bring that offense up to the line of scrimmage now. They work from the right side hash mark. Shotgun formation again. Becker has got motion left to right to the short side, and now the whistle's below. Timeout called by the Chargers, so they wanted to maybe check that Snider defense. We have no score. 5:07 remains quarter 1. Let's step out for this. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket. Well, we're getting one.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life. I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life.
And they'll have one wide to the short side. That's Leighton Mitchell, who had 6 catches a week ago. Motion to the near side. Play action fake. Here's Becker. Loads. Looks into the end zone. It's got Mitchell. Mitchell over the shoulder catch. Did he get a foot in bounds? Touchdown. One play after the timeout. 26 yards on the touchdown throw. Becker to Mitchell. And that's his first touchdown reception of the year. He had 4 of them last season.
That was an exceptional route by Leighton Mitchell. He created separation at the end of the play to make that catch. But how about that throw by Jeffrey Becker? The sophomore quarterback hangs in the pocket, trusts his receiver and Leighton Mitchell, and just puts it out there. And that was impressive, my friend. That was a great drive by Carroll and a huge start tonight for them.
Now Trevor Horton comes on to attempt the extra point. It is on the way, and it's good. 7-0 Carroll with a timeout here at Fuller Stadium. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 AM The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Complex.
Just under 15 yards, a kick return. Carroll on top, 7-0. Kick coming down. Derrick runs under it at the 5, 10, 15, right sideline. At the 25, 30, 35. Finally brought down just short of the 40-yard line. And that's a good gain and good field position now for Snider, who plays from behind.
And, Joe, we got an update. The other game with 2 unbeatens, Concordia over at Homestead. It's Luke Goody to Griffin Little for an early touchdown pass, and it's 7-0 Homestead. So we saw that passing attack last week, and it looks like Homestead just picked up right where they left off.
Spot that ball at the Snider 38-yard line, 1st and 10. And how will the Panthers now respond?
Good teams answer. And you always say it, Joe Parson. Good teams answer. Can Snider answer?
Lenny Bennett in there, the running back for the Panthers, lined up. A little bit offset to the left behind Barnes. Play action fake. Here comes a screen coming near side. Complete pass. That'll be gained down to the 45-yard line. So a good pass that time. And holding on was Dylan Duff.
Dylan Duff is awesome. I watch him play, and I wonder why he didn't come out for football sooner. 6'5", 200 pounds, and still learning that position. But how about John Barnes putting that ball out there on the numbers? And now you feel like with Snider, Snider is now playing with a sense of urgency, because last year in this game in the regular season, Carroll just ran away from Snider, so Snider needs to get going.
By the way, Cameron Trotter now is the running back for the Panthers, and he had 8 carries for 72 yards last week. Here's the little cross counter play and a run inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
And you just mentioned it, Joe. That's Trotter. Trotter's bigger, stronger back, and that time hitting the backfield, drags tacklers, and makes it into a positive play. 5'10", 200, but he runs like he's 220.
Carter Wortman was the tight end, pulled on the play and delivered a good block, lead block. That's a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3, inside the 40 of the Chargers. Now Barnes repositions Trotter. Still wants him this time a little bit wide of him. And here is Barnes, read option, hands the ball. Trotter turns the corner right side, brings it inside the 35 down to about the 30.
That's hard-nosed running. Trotter comes in the game for Snider. 5'10", 200. Looks about 220 from up here, Joe. He runs around the corner and lowers the head, and there's no juking or dodging or getting out of bounds. Trotter's going to put his helmet in your chest and run through you. And that time he does, and you can begin to feel that momentum and that Snider offensive line really digging in on this drive.
Panthers on the move. Here is Barnes. Looks to hands it off. Again, a run off tackle left side by Trotter. Muscles his way down to the 25. Game tackled by the Chargers, and that was led by Lincoln Lentz. came up from his safety spot.
Another score to pass along. Christian Fly has Bishop Luers on the board. Bishop Luers 7, Wayne nothing. So that's a game where both teams are 0-1, and that's a really important game for both teams. But how awesome is it on Summit City Sports to have access to all the games?
Dylan Duff in the slot to the right side. Read option. Here's Barnes being pressured and screens the ball. Here's a run after the catch to the 25-yard line, down to about the 21-yard line. Derek with a good move after the catch to pick up those yak yards.
And I like how Snider got Derek isolated one-on-one in the corner out there. It was just a quick pass, but Derek is so elusive out there that a one-on-one matchup seems like a mismatch. So how about Snider with the tempo, but now, Joe, a big third down.
And Carroll's not really coming up with press coverage on the outside. And that may have cost them a couple of times. It'll be third down, and let's call it a short 3. Again from the right side hash mark. And here is an off-tackle run, and they've got the first down and much more. A bruising run that time as Lance had to come up to make the tackle. It'll be a gain down to the 15, and a new set of downs for the Panthers.
And that felt like Snider football. Trotter running off tackle, a bruising run. I watched, you looked in the screen that time, Randy Holtz, number 71 for Snider, 6'7", 350, pushed the Carroll defender all the way into the end zone. So Snider seems like that intensity has stepped up, and they're just planting their hand on the grass and getting after it.
Clock moves inside of 2 minutes late in this first quarter, 7-0. Carroll. Snider threatening. Barnes, two-step drop, throws to the right, got a catch, and it'll be a touchdown. Spinning away Alonzo Derrick. Good for 15 yards at the 145 mark, and we are a conversion away from a new game.
And that was one of the better drives I've seen from Snider the last few years. You got the power rushing game, you got the quick passing attack, and what I loved about that is obviously Derek one-on-one is so elusive, but how about John Barnes, Joe, throwing that ball on time? That drive was all about timing in the passing game, and yes, good teams do answer, and Snider answers that touchdown.
Time of the score, 1:45. Now we need the conversion on the way. That is good by Ryder. Trent Ryder will tie it. 7-7, 1:45 on the clock. New ball game here at Schuler Stadium. This is IHSAA.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
Seen 2 quarterbacks play with an awful lot of poise early on.
And here comes the kick. Fading to the far side, fielded at the 10, dropped, picked up there. And there is a Steely. Tucker gets some running room down the left sidelines all the way up to across the 35-yard line. I want to tell you what, Tucker Steely, what happens a lot of times, you drop the ball, everybody kind of freezes.
You got to have nerves of steel to be able to get away with that. Now we're going to have a penalty, so that ball is going to come back. But I'm telling you, Joe, when you drop that kickoff, you can hear the footsteps coming. You got to have nerves of steel to pick that ball up, and that was a great return with Carroll. But during the confusion, you get a big penalty on your special teams, and that's going to hurt because that's going to push Carroll all the way back down inside their 20-yard line, Joe. So that's a big penalty, and it puts Carroll in a major hole, maybe inside their 10-yard line, starting this drive.
Nose of the football down at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 Chargers. They had 9 penalties last week despite the win for 90 yards. Carroll, by the way, had 9 penalties for 89 yards despite their win. So Becker will take the snap from inside his 5. Looks on the read option, runs himself off tackle, trying to fight his way out, trying to get close to the 10. He will pick up a couple of yards, it looks like.
Yeah, he's running hard out there. 6 feet, 185, only a sophomore. So good recognition on that play, Joe, to get the positive yards. And right now, Carroll just wants to get a little bit of room and be careful here not to make a big mistake.
Ball spotted squarely on the 10-yard line. Second down, 3 wide to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. Becker wants to throw, hit, got a completion. Here's a curl play back to the middle of the field, and the gain is out to the 15 as that ball was delivered right into the breadbasket of Bowden Heights. But then he paid.
Yeah, that was Tavion Rooklos who just brings the wood and drops him that time. But, Carroll, good positive play now, Joe. They're right on schedule with down and distance. Now it's third down, but I'm telling you, those linebackers for Snider, they can chase.
Ball's at the 15. Chargers need just under 3 yards to convert. Becker again. Out of the pistol, looks right, looks left, now runs, scrambles to the 15, to the 20. It slides down, and was there contact? There was not, apparently. As he slid down at the 27, they'll move the chains. 1st and 10, still with 18 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
Recognition by Jeffrey Becker. He looks through his targets, Joe, and then he's decisive and touches that football and gets upfield. Jeffrey Becker is really impressing me early on.
Carroll just short of their 30-yard line now. Will they get a playoff? We're down to 1, we're down to 0, and that will be the end of this opening first quarter. 7-7 on the Spuller Stadium scoreboard. Snider against Carroll. And we'll be back with second quarter action. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
Becker hands the ball off to Preston Fisher, tries to turn the corner to the right side. This play started at the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of a couple yards just across the 30-yard line to about the 31.
That was a nice play that time out there by Reese Thomas, the defensive end, to push that ball to the outside and push him out of bounds.
Tyler Morrison, one of the wideouts here to the near side. That's the wide side. Meanwhile, motion back to the right, the short side. Becker hitting, and he's got a man open at midfield, and the catch is made. That'll be a gain down to the 45 as sliding down. That was a nice catch that time. Trying to keep his balance was Edward Bransfield.
Yeah, Bransfield's a baller. He's a big tight end, and when Carroll runs that play action fake, Joe, it's just enough to freeze the linebackers, and Bransfield gets right behind him, and that's a big play for Carroll.
Chargers now into Snider territory. Read option again. Counter run coming left side into the second level. And there's a good hard run by Preston Fisher.
Wow, we're seeing some hitting out there tonight. How about Fisher that time? Runs downhill and punishes Snider for making the tackle. But I'm loving what Carroll's doing, Joe. We're seeing some play action passing. We're seeing some hard nose running. Carroll looks good on offense.
You called it early. It's like a heavyweight match.
Yes.
Punch, counter punch. 1st and 10. Chargers at the Snider 35. Becker again out of the gun. Now runs himself, looks for a block, turns the corner, the 35 to the 30. Out across the hash mark, down around the 26-yard line before he's bumped out of bounds across the way.
That's excellent. I see you, Jeffrey Becker, out there playing. That's a great read that time. We're going to have a penalty flag. I think we're going to have holding on the right tackle, Joe, but that was a great read by Becker to get outside, and I'm so impressed with the way he's handling this game early on, Joe.
Penalty hurts the Chargers. There'll be a walk-off outside the 40 all the way back to about the 48-yard line.
And what they get him on with the hold is Carroll initially locks him up. You just can't hang on. And once Becker gets to the outside, it's so hard. But as an offensive lineman, you have to let go.
It will be 1st and 23 now with the ball back at the 48. Let's see if Jeffrey Becker is locked in to go into the air. Still has motion back to the near side, to the far side, I should say. Becker rolls right, looks, and throws on the run. He was about to be hit, got rid of the ball. Don't see a penalty flag, so it'll be 2nd down and long.
Yeah, that was reckless again for Snider coming up, Joe, and bringing that pressure because Becker was just holding that football, and that forced Becker to make a decision much faster than he wanted to. So good play from the Snider linebackers, and we feel like Snider is really deep at linebacker this year, Joe, but you see it there, and now Carroll really is in a 2nd and long, and now you got to be careful not to force something.
Panthers now with 2 safeties back. Now the linebackers drop as well. Becker checking his wristband. Here on 2nd down and long. He still has the motion, looks to throw off of, and the ball is loose. That's a 3 ball. I believe Carroll dropped on it at their own 47-yard line. Just as he was loading up, Becker got hit. That ball squirted free. And, Joe, I think that was going to be a rule of fumble.
Yeah, it was a fumble. And what Snider did, Joe, is they ran a corner blitz. That was Jason Underwood who got in there from the corner position. Becker did not read that corner blitz.
They're going to call that an incomplete pass.
Well, that was a fumble. That should have been a fumble, but I like what Snider's doing. Snider's not going to let Becker just stand back there. They're going to bring some heat.
Now it's 3rd down. No one's still very long. 3rd and 23. Becker to throw. Straight drop. Looks, throws near side. Crossing pattern. That one's off the fingertips. Incomplete. Leighton Mitchell at 6 feet. Had it on his fingertips, but could not control it.
I thought he was going to make the play because I thought the Snider's defender, that time it was Rucklos again, it looked like he was out of position with his angle, but he got there just soon enough to break the play up. So I love the play call with Carroll, and I liked how they went to Mitchell, but good defense with Snider. So, but now an opportunity. Let's see who handles the special teams here, Joe, and let's see if Carroll can pin Snider deep.
Chargers to punt the ball away. It'll come from the Carroll 37. 2 back in punt return, including Alonzo Derrick. Horton in to kick that ball away. And what do we see? We have an officials timeout with 10:07 remaining in the half. Don't forget our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show coming up. And apparently delay of game will be the call against the Chargers. That'll back them up 5 yards further.
Yeah, and that's where you just have to move. You got to really move out there if you're on special teams.
By the way, at halftime, Candace Duncan, who is the manager of athletic training at Parkview Sports Medicine, joins us. Here's a kick now. It'll be fielded. Derrick, and knocked down. Good downfield pursuit that time, and I tell you what, we've seen his number a lot. Tucker Steely down there and made the tackle.
Only a sophomore. What a play, Joe. And that's huge for special teams.
Does the name Tranquil sound familiar? I think he's wearing the same uniform.
He looks like him tonight, doesn't he? And obviously, Drew Tranquil, the 4th-round pick of the L.A. Chargers. But how about Steely going down making that play? And Carroll has been sound on special teams tonight, Joe. And that's huge when it's a game this close because you want to win that battle of field position.
Cameron Trotter checks back into the Panther backfield. Ran hard in that first quarter for the Panthers. And paved the way, really, to their first tying touchdown of the ball game. Meanwhile, John Barnes, the 6-foot senior, settles in out of the pistols, got motion back from left to right, counter run, and into the second level, tripped up, but down at the 19-yard line was Cameron Trotter.
Yeah, got some scores to pass along, Joe. It's now Bishop Luers 10, Wayne 6. That's going to be a hard-fought game. Nobody wants to go 0-2 in this conference. A little bit of history tonight. Bishop Dwenger with their new field, 7-0 over Northside, and I'm excited so far. Southside 8, Northrop nothing.
Trotter gains 6, 2nd down and 4. Barnes checks to his left, looks to hand the ball off again. This time, short gain across the 20 to the 21.
Aaron Jackway comes up from his defensive end position, Joe, to make the tackle. And it's interesting, Jackway's only a sophomore, Joe. He didn't play football last year, and he is dominating at the defensive end position. 6'4", 210, comes down and scrapes and makes that tackle.
Panthers need a yard on third down. Short yardage situation. And they'll look to Trotter again, looking for a hole, and spins off a tackle. He's got it. Or he's close to the first down stick. Let's see. It's going to depend on the spot on the football. The Chargers had a couple of shots at him, slowed him up.
I love the way Lincoln Lance filled the hole, Joe, and made the tackle. And I think Snider barely got that first down.
They do move the chains. New set of downs for the Panthers to work with here at the 8:40 mark of this first half. We're in a 7-7 tie.
Lance had 6 tackles from his safety position last week. He's number 1 out there, and he is like a torpedo when he goes and finds that football.
Duff and Derrick are the 2 wide to the right side, but they're going to keep it on the ground. And here is a run and a counter run, shifty run across the 25 up to about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line.
That's a great run. That's about a 6-yard carry for Lenny.
Bennett back in there.
Lenny Bennett is tough as nails. That's a great run because he is hit, he's grabbed in the backfield, and he's able to drive with that leg strength and get those positive yards. I'm telling you, it is a fight on the inside with the Snider offensive line and the Carroll defensive line.
Bennett a year ago ran for over 500 yards, scored 4 touchdowns. Throw Barnes left side, catch is bobbled. Let's see how they rule it.
It's going to be incomplete, Joe. He bobbled that ball out of bounds, and Derrick is too good to bobble that. He's got to pull that ball in because Barnes is on the money, Joe, and the timing's there, and that's a big play. If you catch that football clean, it moves the chains.
Alonzo Derrick led him in receptions a year ago, 37 catches for 407 yards, scored a couple of touchdowns. Now it's 3rd down and 4. And here is a run off, and Bennett runs into a wall at the 31. He won't get there to the first down stick. It'll bring up 4th down.
And that was great recognition by the 2 brothers out there. That was Matthew Ottenweller that got there first, the senior, 6'1", 180. And I love it when the backers can run from sideline to sideline. And Carroll, we thought the defense looked good against Bishop Lewis. So far, that defense has been awesome tonight, Joe.
So it'll be 4th down, and the Panthers will punt. Clock will run inside of 7 minutes, and there's some confusion out there by the Panthers. Let's see if they're going to have to call a timeout. Still 20 on the play clock. Really a spread offense off this punt. Trent Ryder in there to punt the ball. Penalty flag is thrown. High, wobbly ball. Fair catch is called at the 29. So that was grabbed by Leighton Mitchell, but now we'll check the penalty.
And you're hoping, if you're Coach Dinan, you're hoping that you weren't offsides on this. We'll see what it is. But
by the way, Acme Bar and Grill is currently located at 1105 East State Boulevard in Fort Wayne. Order your favorite pizza, pasta, salad, and more, all with the click of a button. Acme Bar and Grill accepts orders online for pickup.
And we stopped there last week and had some pizza.
Sir.
Man, that was good pizza over there.
It was 4th down and 2.
The penalty was on Snider, Joe, so Coach Dinan could breathe a sigh of relief. So it's going to be Carroll's football. And here we go. Let's see what Carroll can mount here for a drive. They've done a nice job with the run-pass mix so far, and this feels like a big drive for Carroll.
So we'll check where they're going to spot that football. It will be at the 30-yard line of the Chargers, moving from right to left toward the southern end zone. And Jeffrey Becker looks, time of the pocket, throws in a one-handed stab at incomplete pass intended right at the 40-yard line, and that was Bowden Height. He goes 5'9" and just only could fling up a right hand and get a hand on that ball, but not complete it.
Yeah, Becker just wasn't real accurate on that play, and that puts Carroll in a hole now of 2nd and 10.
Now he's got 1 wide to the short side. That is Tyler Morrison, but they will run the football, and Snider's not going to give anything up that time.
No, and as a quarterback, you cannot cut back across the field against Snider. Becker needs to trust his blocks out there and keep coming to the outside because Snider's just awesome with the way they chase, and that time it was Dominic Moon that finished him off for Snider, but traditionally you cannot cut back across the field against the Snider defense.
Panthers last week against Northside had 3 sacks, 1 interception, 7 tackles for loss, and 4 fumble recoveries in that 51-0 whitewash. 3rd down and longer, 3rd and 13 now. Becker drops to throws, being pursued, rolls to his right, he's got plenty of time now, throws on the run downfield, and again, incomplete pass just off the left hand of Leighton Mitchell.
And he had him, Joe. I mean, Mitchell ran open, and he had him, but just couldn't connect. But how about the Carroll offensive line giving Becker so much time tonight? So the Carroll offensive line's doing a good job, and Becker has the time to throw the football, but good stop there for Snider. Should get pretty good field position. Now, if I'm Snider, it's really important to come up and catch this punt and try to really make the most out of this field position.
Trevor Orton comes on to kick the ball away for the Chargers, waits at his 14-yard line. 6:01 remains in the first half. Still a 7-7 tie. Got a delivery, kick us away. Nice ball to the far side. Backpedaling catch is made at the 32. Run left side across the 35 to the 37. And it was Jay-Sean Underwood on that return. And Snider now with a chance to break the 7-all tie.
And that was Craig McGinnis, the junior linebacker, the backup linebacker, just runs down the field and drops his pads that time and makes the tackle. So, man, Carroll's coached well on special teams. But I'll tell you what, these kids got made. This turf is awesome out here, Joe. And how about Summit City Sports? All the games on that platform, you know, the recruiters can watch the games, the parents get to watch the games, the grandparents states away can watch the game. It is awesome to be a high school football player in this county right now.
Decent field position now for the Panthers, moving from left to right. 5:50 on the clock. Here is Barnes. Throws the ball left side's got a catch, giving ground, cutting back to the 45. There's Alonzo Derrick, and he's all the way curls to the middle of the field to the Carroll 45-yard line.
And Derrick is just electric. But what I like so much, Joe, is John Barnes is on time. And that short passing attack, coupled with Snider's power rushing game, is so tough to defend. So when Barnes is on time, Snider's dangerous.
J.D. Wells checks in. He's tight to the right side. Had 1 catch for a 30-yard touchdown last week. Here is Barnes. Looks to hand it off again. And off-tackle run. That'll be a gain down to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, good push up front for Snider. Carroll's really impressing me with their linebackers. You got Mertz. You got the Ottenweller brothers out there. You got Steely. Carroll stacked at linebacker, but Snider's grinding away, trying to get that run game going.
Joe, some of those big guys, Randy Holtz at 350, DJ Moore goes 300, and here's a short gain. Well, actually,
going to have a false start. Looks like it's going to be a false start on Snider that time, Joe.
Well, they call offsides against the offense. There's one you don't see a whole lot.
Yeah, just lined up, maybe lined up in the neutral zone for the offense, but that hurts Snider because you got 2nd and 5. The other thing that hurts Snider, Joe, is you can feel the momentum, and you can feel Snider getting to the line of scrimmage and calling those plays and really getting in sync, and those penalties take you out of sync.
2nd down and 10 now. Nose of the football just outside. Here's a quick throw to the left, and that catch is made right at the point of impact at the 40-yard line. That was a good catch and trying to keep his presence on the ball. Dylan Duff made the catch, but Carroll right there to stop it for no gain after the catch.
Yeah, he hurt Northside last week, Joe. 3 catches, 73 yards, and that touchdown. And it's tough for Carroll because you want to roll your corners up and take away that short game, but Snider can beat you deep, so it's really cat and mouse, and a big 3rd down here.
2 tight ends in. J.D. Wells to the left, Dominic Johnson into the right. Barnes to throw near side, and this one is incomplete and nearly picked off.
Yeah, great recognition again. Who else? Ray Vollmer out there makes the recognition, and John Barnes is just a little bit late, and he's lucky to get away with it because I thought Vollmer was going to pick that ball off, but, man, a big stop for Carroll. And I'll tell you what, on the 40, this is a great time to gamble if I'm Snider, and I would be tempted to go for it here.
Zach Tyndall checks in to punt the ball. Waits at the Panther 45-yard line. 1 back for Carroll at the Charger 10. Still 4:07 remaining here in the first half. High snap, Tyndall's got it, no rush. Kick high, short. That one will hit and take a Panther bounce and comes back to about the 18-yard line. Snider's letting it roll. And it'll be blown dead inside the 20, so Chargers will have it. 3:55 remains until the halftime intervention. And don't forget, big halftime coming up here, Joe Walburn. Extra, they tell us, an extra 10 minutes possibly. Russ Bush, a lot of the Panthers coaching staff and students wearing Rush Bush Day. Not doing well health-wise. He'll be honored. And Jesse Bates is back here as well, a former Snider great now in the NFL.
And I was looking through the media guide for Snider, and it's amazing, Coach Bush, Coach Tippmann, Coach Isaac, all the guys they have touched and influenced over the years.
Preston Fisher comes back in as the running back. Here is Becker and runs up the middle across the 20-25. Backpedals, didn't want to take a big hit. Got it out to about, that'll be a pickup of 8 or 9 by Jeffrey Becker.
Brilliant. Recognition in the pocket. Snider drops deep, and Snider's stunting to try to put the pressure on the outside, and Becker just tucks it and gets upfield. I am so impressed with Becker, Joe, his recognition of what's going on the field and the ability to make those decisions on the fly.
And he is there 2 more years for Doug Dinan. Hunter Mertz back into the game now as the running back. They'll hand the ball to him. Looks for a block near side. Runs into a wall at about the 28. He may have the first down, though. He needed a yard, Joe.
Yeah, and I thought it was good push up front by Reeve Muncie. 6'4", 282, the junior. And, Joe, he's playing both ways. He's a force on defense, but he's also out there playing that left tackle position. So good push that time.
New set of downs. Clock approaching 3 minutes. Time remaining in first half. Still 7-7 our score. Becker whispered something in Mertz's ear. Wants to throw again. Loads, fires to the right side. And that one could have and should have been intercepted. No one near it. Maybe intended for Leighton Mitchell, but the Panthers were the closest to that ball.
And Tavarius Jones is going to hate himself in the morning when they have film study, because that time, that's the first bad ball that Becker's thrown, and I think Jones was just shocked because it was almost like Jones was running the route, right?
Come on now. Ex-quarterback, you're going to say he ran the wrong route.
I'd love to say it for Becker, but that wasn't the case on that one.
2nd and 10. Here comes a sweet, no, it's a keeper, that man. Becker eludes 1, eludes 2, crosses the 30, up to about the 35. He got nothing or something out of nothing.
Now, as an old quarterback, I didn't do that. That time, Becker became a fullback breaking tackles, run between the tackles. I'd like to throw it and always get out of bounds, if you know what I mean. But how about the toughness and the grit of Becker to make that play, Joe?
They've not yet gotten the ball into Tyler Morrison's hands tonight. 6'2", senior, had 2 catches and a touchdown last week. Becker to throw, time in the pocket over the middle's got a drop ball. In and out of the hands. Had his man Heights, but he couldn't hold on.
Height's a good football player, Joe, but he's got to make that catch because that's a huge play. It's going to give Snider the ball back with their 2-minute offense, and Becker scanned the whole field, and he put that ball on the money. You got to help your quarterback out.
Now, what Becker had a lot on that throw, Joe, but you got to hold on.
You got to catch it. You got to catch those.
Horton in the punt again. Waite says it's 21. 2 back for Snider. No rush. Kick a little bit lower this time. Bounds at the 35. Is picked up on the run. Across the 30, 35, up to the 39-yard line. So the Panthers will have good field position once again, 1st and 10, and we have a Charger down right about the 40 of the Panthers. So we have an injury timeout here still with 2:05 remaining in this first half. And I tell you what, we have a stoppage of play. This injury timeout brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 a.m. The Ticket. Okay, stay with me, BJ. We may
developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Cameron Trotter gets the call, and Carroll stands him up right at the handoff. It'll be a loss of one. By the way, that was Maxton Green that was injured, helped off the field. So it's 2nd down and 11 now with 1:47 remaining here in this second quarter. Motion Snider back Derrick to the near side. Barnes drops, throws, near side catch is made at the 45. And now a penalty flag. That might be face mask.
And we're going to see this time, Joe, because Derrick broke upfield before the ball was snapped. It should be a penalty on Derrick because he broke upfield before the ball was snapped. But we could also have holding on the backside. We'll see when they finish it out. But as far as this drive, that play by Jason Underwood to come up and make that catch on the punt, Joe, allows Snider to have a chance at this. So that's big.
Offsetting penalties, holding against Snider. It was a face mask against Carroll. Olin Roberts, our referee tonight, letting us know. As Joe Walburn gets ready to make his way down to field level. My question is, who's he going to chat with? With 1:35 remaining in a 7-7 tie. 2nd down and 10. Barnes, 2-step drop. Looks left side, throws to a slot. That ball is bobbled and dropped. 2 players were in the vicinity for the black and gold. I believe J.D. Wells had the best shot at it. Now that'll stop the clock with just 89 seconds remaining until intermission in the 7-7 tie and bring up 3rd down and 10. Panthers trying to reach midfield at the 50-yard line. Larry Seibel in, one of the up front down 4 for the Chargers. Snider just kind of standing around. They do not huddle up now with 14 on the play clock. Cameron Trotter comes back into the ball game as the running back. And Barnes with 3 wide to the left side. Carroll shows blitz, but they'll run the ball. Trotter breaks 1 tackle and is dropped at the 41. He'll pick up a yard. And now will Carroll use a timeout? They are desperately trying to call a timeout. So it'll be 4th down with 1:15 remaining, and we do have a timeout down below. So 7-7 here at Spiller Stadium in this championship-like matchup between 2 heavyweights. 7-7 tie. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 a.m. The Ticket. Panthers punt the ball. Nobody for Carroll wants any part of it. It'll be touched by Snider downfield at the Charger 33-yard line. Chargers with 1:07 now on the clock to work with late in this first half.
1st and 10 Chargers from their own 34-yard line.
Joe Walburn making his way down field level. And I think he's going to stay with Kurt Tippmann. And we've had one of these situations occur several years ago where we guessed wrong. A late play broke a tie, and it was the coach across the way that had the lead. But when you're committed, you got to go with what you got. 1st and 10. Chargers moving from right to left as the sun begins to sink behind the clouds here out of the west of Spiller Stadium. Becker looking, being pursued, steps up, runs to the 30, trying to get to, cuts to his right. Penalty flag is thrown, a couple of them back inside the Carroll 30. Got to guess that's going to be a hold. Looking for our referee, Olin Roberts. It is a holding call. That'll back him up with under a minute now to play. A reminder, Candace Duncan from Parkview Sports Medicine to join us at halftime. And if you're listening and maybe looking for a career, you might want to pay special attention. Could be an athletic trainer. Penalty back inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 24 now. Becker with 3 wide to his left. Read option. Now wants to run himself. Cuts up. Gets second level. 25-30. And backpedals a little bit more. So pushes the pile up to about the 34-yard line. So that got a lot of the penalty yardage back. Clock running down to 40 seconds. And will the Chargers now take another timeout? They want to play quickly with 2nd down and 8 coming up. Becker trying to line his team up now with 28 seconds remaining in the half. Looks to throw, can't find anything, wants to run. And will cross the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. Clock running still. We're down to 14 seconds on 3rd down and 6, and the Chargers no hurry to try to perhaps get another playoff in this 7-7 tie. And it looks like that is going to do it. We have reached 000, so it'll be 7-7, Snider and Carroll. As Joe down below, as we get ready to go down to him, and I would guess with Kurt Tipman. Let's see if there's going to be an untimed down here. Olin Roberts coming across. Panthers coming back onto the field, so we may not be done quite yet. Officials conferring around the 35-yard line. And by the way, Carroll stays on the field across the way as well. And are they going to call it a half? Well, apparently Carroll did call timeout. So we do have time for one more snap. It'll be 3rd down and 6. With the ball at the 37-yard line. Well, here tonight, at least for this game, all the student body is gathered in the middle sections. You're hearing them a lot tonight. And, you know, Russ Bush has meant so much to the Snider football program for decades. And he will be here tonight to be honored with our extended halftime show. Becker, empty backfield, 2-step drop. Looks, throws as far as he can downfield. He's got a man down there. It'll be a jump ball chipped in the air and incomplete. And that is going to do this first half. So it will be a 7-7 tie. Teams will head to the halftime dressing room. And we'll be checking in with Joe Walburn in our Parkview Sports Medicine halftime interview down below. As soon as we get a chance here, let's go down to Joe and the coach.
Good competitive football in the first half. 2 really good teams. Offensively, you guys are having some success throwing the ball, but a little bit slow. They're really stacking up against your run game.
Oh, we're just a little sloppy staying on blocks, and a little sloppy catching some of those balls. But, you know, still game 2. We got to iron that stuff out, and that's going to be the goal.
Defensively, it seems like Jeffrey Becker's making some plays and getting loose, but yet they only have 7 points on the board.
Well, they're putting a lot on his shoulders, and, we're going to have to make sure we're accounting for him on everything, but we'll have a good plan coming out. It's going to be a good second half.
Absolutely. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Joe Walburn with Coach Kurt Tipman. Well, it's not 51-0. That's what Snider won last week. It's not 42-0. That's what Carroll came away with a victory. This one is for real. 7-7 here at the half. We'll be back with our Indiana-Michigan Power halftime show after this 2-minute timeout, and this is IHSAA football right here on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Can a power company provide more than energy? Can it inspire young minds, rebuild lives, and ignite the economic growth of a community? Can it honor the past while energizing the future? At Indiana-Michigan Power, we're doing more than we expected with energy. We're working together, investing in the lives of the community, all to create a better future. That's not just energy. That's boundless energy. Indiana-Michigan Power. Boundless energy. See more at indianamichigan.com/boundless.
You might be one of those people who looks forward to cooler weather. And that's all well and good, but Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that summer ain't over till we say it's over. So they're still rolling with the summer clearance event with savings across the board. Get a 2019 Dodge Challenger Hemi for $389 a month with no money down. Or drive off in a 2019 Durango SXT all-wheel drive blacktop edition for $395 a month. Offers valid to qualified lessees. Minimum down payment required for Durango on select models. See dealer for complete terms and details. And don't forget that Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram also has finance approval plans to get you into the vehicle you want. Back to school, football preseason, sure, fine. But it's still summer, brothers and sisters. Celebrate by hitting the summer clearance event happening now at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram under the giant American flag on Coliseum or always online at glenbrookdodge.com.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late.
Out as well.
In honor of Coach Russ Book. He was a three-sport athlete.
And we are back with Candace Duncan, who's the Parkview Sports Medicine Athletic Training Manager. And Candace, great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
This is an interesting profession, isn't it? I know you work with a lot of your athletic trainers, but talk a little bit about your background and how did you get interested in being an athletic trainer and obviously now fulfilling as a manager, but that's quite a vocation. Talk about how you came about.
Absolutely. So a lot of years ago when I was in high school, I was an athlete. Actually, my mom tore her ACL, and so I was very intrigued by her rehab. I had the fortune of having an athletic trainer at my high school, so I started asking a lot of questions and wasn't sure if this was really the profession I wanted to get in, but it was definitely something I wanted to do moving forward. I went to college. I got my degree in athletic training, sat for my boards, passed them, fortunately. Went on to grad school, continued pursuing athletic training, and my hobby kind of turned into my lifelong profession.
You know, it's interesting because we're involved primarily with football and basketball, but Parkview Sports Medicine is involved with a lot of different sports, a lot of different schools. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So we provide coverage at 26 high schools in Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. We're at 5 universities, and then we partner with 10 club organizations in and out of Allen County. So our athletic trainers, there's about 75 on staff. We are there for every home athletic event. We travel to all the football games, the varsity football games, but we are there for everything from volleyball to cross country. We try and get to golf, but those are usually off campus, so we don't always make them. But we're there for everything. So while you typically see us at football and basketball games, we are covering every sport that you can probably think of.
And all certified.
Yes, we're all certified athletic trainers licensed in the state as healthcare providers.
Now I want to talk about the circumstances where I bet 99% of the games that we attend, there's no serious injury. Maybe a leg cramp during the hot, humid weather, and thank God for that.
Sure.
But there is that moment, and when it happens, you can almost hear the crowd being hushed. There's a player down, maybe on the court, on the football field,
Yep.
and some of his teammates are coming over and waving to the sidelines. And as an athletic trainer, you want to respond. Take us through the step-by-step protocol, because at that point, you don't know what the nature of the injury is.
Right. So all of our venues do have emergency action plans that we put in place in the event of an emergency like this. Definitely when we're getting out to the athlete, we are kind of going through our head if we saw that injury happen, if we were watching a different part of the play. A lot of it depends on, what kind of the severity of the injury is. But, our main goal is to make sure they're safe and that they're able to move. So if they are speaking to us, we can usually find out what's going on. In the unforeseen circumstances when they're unconscious, we kind of go into emergency mode, and that's when our emergency action plan comes into place.
And there is a difference between how you deal with a neck head injury versus a lower extremity. Talk about maybe the differences once you determine what's going on.
Absolutely. So with any head or neck injury, we again want to make sure that there's no movement. We try and immobilize that area. Typically with any kind of suspected fracture, we want to make sure that we're minimizing the movement of that body part. So sometimes we may splint on the field. Sometimes we may call 911 or an emergency crew to come out and assist us with that.
And a lot of times you might have a doctor on hand, and maybe there's a point in time where it's time to get a little bit higher professional opinion on this.
Yes, absolutely. We try and have a physician or advanced practitioner at all of our varsity football games on Friday nights. We definitely utilize them. Their skill and expertise is something that we value. But sometimes just having an extra pair of hands is what we really need. So calling all the medical staff there to help is what we're looking for.
Now that's just begins the role of the athletic trainer, because the paramount goal is to return to health and the ability to come back and play. And let's talk about the rehab process and leading into, and talk a little bit about the mental process, because let's say it is a severe injury, an ACL tear. How does the student athlete deal with that? Does he become depressed? So it's physical and mental that's at stake.
Right. A lot of times the athletes that we deal with are they're playing athletics because they love to play, and so any kind of injury, whether it's a ankle sprain or an ACL tear or a broken bone, they're kind of pushing the envelope, wanting to do something. We definitely try and get them to that line, to toe that line, but there are times that they just can't participate, and really depending on the person, their situation. A senior football player that tears their ACL mid-season, that's much more traumatic for them. Maybe they aren't planning on going on to play in college, than a freshman who knows that they've got another season to play. So we definitely look at the mental aspect of it. It plays a huge role in the rehab process, whether they're going to formal physical therapy with one of our physical therapists, or we're doing the physical therapy at the school. It really plays a huge part in their rehab and recovery.
Sounds like a really worthwhile profession, a great vocation. If somebody's listening, want to find out more, hey, maybe this is something I want to get into, how can they get in touch with you and get some more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is parkviewsportsmedicine.com. You can go there and search for athletic training, or you can just do a search online for athletic training. We have a national platform that has tons and tons of information about how to start the process, the education requirements, and the board tests that you have to take.
Candace Duncan, our guest tonight. Our thanks and appreciation to you and to the rest of the Parkview Sports Medicine athletic trainers. Now let's get back to more high school football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
And this will The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense. December 24th
through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th at Trine University.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Halftime here at Spuller Stadium in a 7-7 tie. With Joe Walburn, I'm Joe Parson. Tommy Norris is with us tonight with the SummitCitySports.com crew. And we're getting ready to go back down to Joe Walburn, another Parkview Sports Medicine interview, I believe. As let's see if Joe is ready to. He's hoping to get a chance to chat with maybe Jesse Bates, former Snider football great who played at Wake Forest. And also, let's go down to Joe and
Joe,
Jesse.
I'm down here with Jesse Bates of the Cincinnati Bengals. Jesse, I'm Joe Walburn with Summit City Sports and The Ticket. First of all, congratulations. There's so many of us in the community that are proud of you.
Sure. I appreciate that, man. And, anytime I get a chance to have some off time, it's always a blessing to come out here and just show my face. I know what this city of Fort Wayne has done for me. And it's just always nice to spend time with my free time with them as well.
High school football is huge. What did high school football mean to you, and what were some of the lessons that you learned? And coming out here, it's got to be a little bit funny to see the turf now, but what are those lessons meant to Jesse Bates?
Yeah, we won't say much about the bruin in the middle of the field, but, Friday nights are always special, man. I still talk to the guys that were a part of my senior class, and, these coaches, the players are going to have a long-time relationship just because of how this program is ran. Coach Tip does an awesome job, and it's not even just Coach Tip. It comes from Coach Bush and Coach Ike that has led this before. So, like I said, it's a blessing, man. Anytime you're out here just watching your Snider Panthers play, it's a blessing.
What did Coach Bush mean to you?
Man, it mean a lot. He's taught me a lot. I was probably a knucklehead coming in my freshman year, but he's just a great guy. I mean, he taught me more than just football. When I would get in trouble, he taught me. You have to be the best you, no matter whether that's football or being the best dad, being the best son. He's always taught me to be the best me, so that's why I appreciate him.
Lastly, what's it feel to wake up on a Sunday morning and know that you're going to put the pads on and play in the National Football League?
Yeah, I don't take it for granted, man. It's the same thing as football, but, just having the NFL patch on my chest while I'm playing football is a blessing, man. This is my first job ever. As a human being, and it's a great one.
Congratulations, you're a great dude to come back, and so many of us are proud of you, and good luck with your NFL career.
Thank you, man.
Jesse Bates with Joe Walburn here as they honor Russ Bush at halftime of the 7-7 tie between Carroll and Snider. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with more of our halftime presentation. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. 2 minutes.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ant in action. Get mad. Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ant in action. Get mad.
Scoring opportunity. They took over at the Chargers' 42-yard line, but really could not do anything with it. But then it was a fourth down stop that gave possession to the Chargers, and they would get possession at their own 34-yard line, and that's where Jeffrey Becker would take command. He moved his team downfield. It would pave the way for a 26-yard touchdown toss from Becker to Leighton Mitchell, and what a great throw by Becker. Left plenty of air under the ball, threw into the right corner of the end zone to the north, and just before it crossed the end line, Mitchell got a control of the ball. Touchdown for the Carroll Chargers. They drew first blood at the 4:59 mark. The extra point was added by Trevor Horton. At that point, Carroll led at 7-0. But the Panthers would respond on a John Barnes to Derek Alonzo touchdown, as he broke some tackles, ran for 15 yards at the 1:15 mark. Ryder would add the extra point, and we are tied at 7-7. That's where we are right now at halftime. Chargers coming out. We're getting ready to go back down with Joe Walburn when we get a chance. Checking in with another one of our Parkview Sports Medicine's live interviews from down below, and we get a moment. Let's get another interview coming up here shortly. Joe is maneuvering, looking for Coach Dinan coming out of the dressing room. A lot of emotion in this first half. Big crowd on hand. Both sides, by the way, for Carroll and for Snider here at Spooler Stadium. Not exactly sure where Joe Walburn is down in the melee, but we'll turn up his microphone, and when he's got Coach, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to check in. And I guess that means we don't have a chance for Coach Doug Dinan. So I'll tell you what, while we've got a timeout, they will get ready for the warm-ups and the start of the second half. It'll be Snider with a football first in a 7-7 tie. We'll take another 1-minute timeout. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
Well, what a great fall football afternoon. I think it's fall, Joe, because we've still
feels
got
like it.
Sunshine, still a little hint of sunshine rays over the west side of the stadium here. Beautiful, nice breeze this evening. Usually we have 85 degrees and heavy humidity, not tonight, and a 7-7 great hitting football game.
Yeah, we've been spoiled out here tonight. The football's been awesome. The weather's great. The turf is awesome. Jesse Bates was awesome. I tell you what, great football. As far as other scores and games across the Summit City Sports Network, Dwanger's rolling 29-0 at the half against Northside, so they're going to open that new field and get a big win over there. How about Homestead? All that momentum last week with Northrop. Goody's attacking with Griffin Little tonight over at Homestead, 21-0 at the half. Homestead over Concordia. And a surprise for me, how about Bishop Lures after that beat down from Carroll last week? And maybe Carroll was better than what everybody thought. Bishop Lures is sucking it up, playing good football tonight, led by Christian Fly, 16-6 over Wayne. And my Archers are hanging on, baby. Hang on, baby. 8-6, my Archers over Northrop. So good football around the area. Now, Joe, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to get Coach Dinan. He didn't want to do the halftime interview, and that's okay because Coach is a good coach. He's intense. He's fired up, and he wanted to be with his kids and wanted to teach, so that's fine. But if I'm Coach Dinan, number one, I'm extremely happy with my sophomore quarterback, Jeffrey Becker. That quarterback play has been outstanding in the first half. Number two, my front four has been awesome against the run tonight with my defense. So what concerns me, though, if I'm Coach Dinan, is I'm a little bit worried about that Snider passing game. So it's going to be a great second half because you know Coach Titman with Snider is going to make those adjustments.
Yeah, you look at Snider, Joe, and guys like Alonzo Derrick, you get him into space with that shiftiness, the ability to be elusive and break tackles. And Cameron Trotter impressed me tonight. Hard runs for the Panthers in the first half, but you know, Carroll's hung in there. They've made some plays, and basically Jeffrey Becker running with the football. He has not been intimidated by Snider's size, and just as the score indicates, 7-7, it's been really that close.
Yeah, it has. And now we'll see. Maxton Green was lost at the end of the first half for Carroll. That's their right tackle. So we're going to see how that affects things because Maxton Green, 5'11", 230 for them, a good football player. So let's see how that goes with Carroll. And far as Snider, Joe, Snider's going to get the football here starting the second half. So let's see if Snider can come back with that controlled passing attack.
I was just checking on the Carroll depth chart, and at right tackle, get this, Maxton Green's replacement is number 75, Nathan Spade, senior, 6'5", 330. They don't lose a lot as far as size.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're in good hands. But I tell you what's also impressed me tonight, you know Snider's tough. Snider gets on those buses. They're going to ride over here on Coach Bush night and play football. How about Carroll's toughness? Carroll has punched them right back in the face when Snider's punched them.
Panthers will have Lonzo Derrick back deep, waiting for that kick. Stands at the 5-yard line out of near the north end zone. Carroll ready to kick it away from left to right. There will be a little bit of a crosswind. The weatherman said 74 degrees at kickoff. Winds out of the north-northwest at 6 miles an hour, maybe a little bit stronger than that. And let's see if that ball was it punted out of bounds, because that would be a penalty. Let's see how they rule this.
And let's see in this second half, Joe, if Snider can get that power rushing game going. Carroll did a nice job with their front four. We heard good things about the front four for Carroll. We watched the tape on the front four last week for Carroll, but they're as good as advertised. But let's see if Snider can get that power rushing attack going, Joe, here in the second half.
By the way, I want to remind everybody, Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. You can count on us to provide you with a system and solution that fits your unique needs. First and 10 at the Panther 10-yard line. And here is a cut to the left side. That'll bring it out close to the 15-yard line.
It's Lincoln Lance coming up and making that tackle on Lenny Bennett. And it's interesting, Joe, Lincoln Lance, the safety for Carroll, continues to creep up to the line of scrimmage and put his nose in those plays. So might be a chance for Snider to throw something deep.
They'll spot that ball just across the 15-yard line, call it a gain of 4, second down and 6. Barnes again, read option, wants to throw near side's got a catch at the 25. And here is Duff. Or check it, it's Barnes.
Yeah, nice catch out there by Duff. You're right, my friend. Barnes again with the timing. And what's nice about that, Joe, is Duff goes 6'5". So as a quarterback, you love throwing those guys are 6'5", because if you miss a little bit, you can still get that ball to them.
3 catches last week against Northside, along with 73 yards and a touchdown. First and 10 now from the 26. And here is a run, but Carroll stuffs that right at the point of attack at the 25. They still may gain a yard. Bennett to the 26-yard line.
And that's the senior number 61 for Carroll out there, Wes Stevens, that came down and helped make that tackle. But, man, I tell you, Jackway out there at the defensive end position, Larry Seibel at the defensive tackle, Muncie out there. Carroll's got a great D-line, Joe.
You mentioned Stevens last week had a sack in the win over Bishop Luers. Second and 10, no gain. Second and 9. Barnes out of the pistol, one-step drop. Looks now, delayed handoff, and a draw up the middle and running room as Bennett brings it out to the 35-yard line. They'll give him another yard to the 36.
Yeah, I like that play call because Carroll's rushing so hard, and they're stunting, and that time Snider runs the delay on the draw and gets a big play. So that's a heads up to the Snider coaching staff making the adjustment to call that play. And again for Carroll, Joe, it's Lincoln Lance making that tackle. Now look at Lincoln Lance, how he creeps up to the line of scrimmage. If I'm Snider, that's something I attack in the pass game.
Liam Ottenwiller on the tackle, one of the linebackers. Ottenwiller, name out of Northwest Ohio. Here's a run again and into the second level to midfield and more. A gain down to the 48 of Carroll. A little blast play by Lenny Bennett. Now he's finding some holes.
That's a Snider staple. That's ISO right, Joe Parson. They've been running that since Coach Bush was around, and that time they run downhill. Lenny Bennett, I love it when he's decisive with his cuts, and big play for Snider.
First and 10 into Carroll territory now for the Panthers. Bennett again looking. No, it's Barnes on a keeper. Runs back, counter to the left side, and inside the 45 to the 43. Good, deft ball handling by Barnes. Everybody was watching Bennett run to his right.
Yeah, I was too myself. I thought Bennett had it because Barnes doesn't run the ball a lot, Joe, but if Barnes can be a threat and pull that ball out and make those plays, it's going to really stretch that Carroll defense.
Killer D's wide to the right side, Duff and Derrick. And here is Lenny Bennett, angles to off tackle to his right side and picks up real estate down to the 35. And Carroll thinks they've got the football.
There was a fumble. We'll see who came up with it, Joe. Bennett was going for those extra yards. That's the problem. Bennett's running hard, and when running backs make that second effort sometimes to get those extra yards, Carroll's defenders are chasing downhill, and there's a big hit. And there's a huge turnover. And not only a turnover, Joe, that kills Snider's momentum because it felt like they were marching for a touchdown. A huge turnover, so bookmark that play. That's a huge one.
So the Chargers stopped the Panther drive that was in the making. And now it'll be the Chargers offense that comes back onto the field now. 9:03 remains here in the third quarter. We've not had any scoring since the opening quarter. And they'll run up the middle, hard run again. As as Carroll brings it across the 35. They'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards, 3 yards up to about the 38.
Yeah, Preston Fisher is running as hard as he can, 6 feet, 190, Joe, and that's a good run that time, and Carroll has to be able to run the ball between the tackles to keep Snider honest.
Leighton Mitchell, the lone wide to the right. Becker out of the shotgun formation, 2 wide to his left side, and looks, and they've got a reverse coming up, and they'll throw back, and there's a catch by Becker to the 40-45, and stepped out of bounds. Did he get the first down? I believe he's short maybe by a yard. There was a little dipsy doodle you don't see a lot.
You got to love that. On the reverse, I thought the receiver was going to run because Snider was totally fooled. But how about the athletic ability by Becker to catch that ball? And I think it's going to be a first down, Joe. We'll see what they do, but that's a heck of an athletic ability. You see Becker's ability to throw the ball. You see Becker's ability to run the ball. Now you see the athletic ability to make that catch over his shoulder, and Carroll is deep in the playbook with that one.
I think that was Tyler Morrison that completed that pass.
Sure was.
1st and 10 now, the ball to 45. And here is Becker, flush to his left. Looks, gets by 1, spins across midfield, and a yard deep now into Panther territory.
Good recognition again, the cut, and he gets his pads down, gets upfield. If I'm Snider, my adjustment to my linebackers are you have to attack harder. Don't wait for Becker to make the cut. If I'm the Snider linebackers, you have to run to the football.
Chargers do not huddle up. They want to play fast. Becker scoots to his left, throws, completes. Out of bounds, they'll have a first down at around the Panther 44, maybe the 43-yard line. They do move the chains, and here comes Carroll.
Yeah, nice play with Mason Engler at that time catching the pass. I like Becker's recognition. He was patient and gave Engler a good catchable ball.
Now Height comes wide to the right side, and they'll bring the ball. No, it's a keeper spin play. Nothing there that time for Becker.
Yeah, tried the spin, but a good field that time. That's Cameron Miller, the senior outside, the inside linebacker for Snider, and we just talked about it. I want my backers to chase and run downhill to the football. That time Cameron Miller does that perfectly.
Clock approaches 7.5 minutes. Time remaining in the third quarter. We remain tied at 7s. Becker's got motion behind the line of scrimmage, right to left. And here is Becker again, steps up, runs up the middle, and he's got a first down or very close to it at about the Snider 32-yard line.
Tremendous recognition by Becker that time, Joe. Snider had the blitz on, and Becker was trapped in the pocket, and he did what a lot of young quarterbacks can't do. He stepped up in the pocket, recognized it, tucked it, and made a great run. I am so impressed with the poise as a sophomore, Joe. Only a sophomore, Joe, Jeffrey Becker's playing with.
They spot him short of the first down stick at the 33. It'll be 3rd and a yard. Now full house backfield for the Chargers. And they'll look, and nothing there. Snider stuffs that for a loss. Back outside the 35. It'll bring up 4th down and even longer.
Gianni Belizaire breaks through and makes that tackle. And boy, Joe, he's a good one, too. How about the push on that play? You know, we all got so used to seeing how great Lawrence Johnson was, who's playing tonight for Purdue against Nevada. Belizaire is that same kind of defensive tackle, Joe.
And Carroll standing around, not huddling up. Play clock is down to 12. Now Becker brings his team up to the set position. He'll have 2 wide. They're going to roll the dice here on 4th and 3. And here we go. Becker looks to throw to a spot, and it is incomplete. And the Panthers have another 4th. Look at Kurt Tipman out on the field congratulating his defense.
That was good defense, and I thought that Becker was hit late on that play, but there was no flag, and Becker's tough and getting off the field. But Becker's taking a lot of hits, Joe, and that could wear him down later in the game. I love how Coach Dinan rolled the dice and believed in his offense, but an even better stop that time by the Snider defense. Now let's see. Snider seems to have some momentum. They've got the big tackle out there in Randy Holtz. Let's see if Snider can run the football here.
And a new running back, Joe, checks in for Snider. Chance Collier is a 185-pound senior, 5'10". Had 3 carries last week, 22 yards. He did score a touchdown. He'll get a chance here. and shakes off a tackle, trying to slide to his right side. Got across the 35 to the 36. It'll be a short gain of about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
Those Carroll linebackers led by Mertz and Ottenweller and Steele, the way they move and recognize that play. I thought Collier was going to shake free for a few more yards, but that backside inside linebacker, Ottenweller, scrapes down and makes the tackle. You know, I knew Carroll was good against Lures, but I'm really impressed tonight with the defense.
Second down, 8 for Snider. Barnes, read option again, hands it off up the middle, and Collier dragging tacklers, and tacklers down to up to the 45-yard line, short of the first down stick by about a yard.
And what's effective, Joe, is Snider always has good backs, and they're deep with so many backs. In a game like this, it's so physical. I know Bennett may have fumbled the ball, but when you can come in with fresh legs and run between the tackles, it's highly effective.
Third down a yard. Collier stays in. The third running back, Kurt Tippman's used tonight. They'll look to him again off tackle, and second effort gets it up to about the 47. It'll be a new set of downs for Snider.
Yeah, Matthew Ottenweller was in on the play, but Collier was able just to have enough strength to lay out and get that. I think he has the first down, Joe, but it took a second effort of Collier to get those chains moved. So what a physical football game.
Going to be a lot of black and blue bruises tomorrow. First and 10, 47-yard line. That's where the Panthers are. We have 4:35 remaining here in the third quarter. Barnes drops to throw, looks, throws the left side to Fades, got a man, Duff's got it, inside the 15 to the 10-5, touchdown! Panthers good for 53 yards at the 4:25 mark. And the tie is broken. The Panthers on top at 13-7.
And what set that up is that power run game. And again, John Barnes is right on time. And as we talked about, Joe, those safeties were getting nosy in the run game. And Dylan Duff, the basketball player, 6'5", 200. I think he's better at football myself, but runs by the defensive back. And how about that ball of John Barnes? That's a big-time throw from John Barnes, and that shows the maturity of John Barnes.
I've got a phone call for you from the Snider basketball coach who'd like to chat with you in the a moment. Ryder on to attempt the extra point, and that one is good. 14-7. Snider breaks the 7-all tie. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ant in action. Get mad
outside, and I think John Barnes' maturity from last year to this year is huge.
Here comes the kick now. That'll be fielded inside the 5, and let's see what we had here. The whistle, did somebody maybe, sometimes, you know, the kick is made and the officials have then marked the ball ready for play. I don't know if that was the case.
It'll be interesting to see on this next drive how Carroll responds. We talked earlier, good teams respond. Can Carroll respond? And I want to see how Jeffrey Becker looks in this next drive, Joe, because he took a couple of big hits on the last series.
Officials talking it over. Olin Roberts, our referee, with a couple of them. Now they're going to bring in another official. I didn't see a penalty flag, Joe, but
I wondered if Snider was maybe offsides on the kick, but we'll see. Now, you don't want to make any mistakes on special teams because this game is really becoming a game of field position, and they're fighting so hard on the interior lines.
It's interesting because the referee is down across around the 35-yard line of Carroll.
I thought Snider was offsides, but we'll see what they call here.
Really has not been any indication.
Must have kicked it before the referee was ready, Joe.
That's what I said originally.
I think you were right originally. That's what happened. But how about John Barnes' show? How about Barnes hanging in the pocket and having the poise to wait for the receiver to run free on that big touchdown play?
Now, as you mentioned, we'll see how the Chargers are able to respond. Kick from the 40 on the way. This one kind of a line drive kick is fielded inside the 5. Run across the 10, 15, 20, 25. And out to close to the 30-yard line is where the Chargers go on offense now. 70 yards away from a tying score with still 4:17 remaining in this third quarter.
Good special teams tonight by Carroll, so good return out there for Carroll to get some good field position, Joe. Carroll's much better this year in special teams than what they were last year.
I want to remind everybody one of our favorite places to be will be at John Young Stadium next Friday night. Northeast 8 battle between the Bulldogs of New Haven and invading DeKalb, the Barons. Run up the middle, not much there. Gain of maybe a yard at best for the Chargers.
Yeah, and I think Snider's done a pretty good job adjustment-wise in the second half, Joe, to try to take away those off-tackle runs. And speaking of New Haven next week, DeKalb put it on Angola last week, and DeKalb's program's getting better, so that's going to be a good matchup, DeKalb and New Haven.
Second down, still 10. Becker looking to make a play. Read option now fakes, throws the ball, and the sliding catch is made up around the 46-yard line. That's a good play. That was not an easy play, and I believe that was, let's see who that was on the catch.
Yeah, looked like
Morrison?
Yeah, that was good call, Joe. That was Tyler Morrison, 6'2", 170, the senior. And I was talking to Coach Dinan before the game. He said Morrison has great hands, and we saw it there.
Joe, we've seen both teams a number of drops. That was not an easy one. Chargers try to keep the ball on the ground, and they will just, it's a scrum up to about midfield. Tough yardage when you run against this Panther defense. It will be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, it's trench warfare out there, Joe. Big bodies fighting. That's Preston Fisher again, putting his head down and getting the tough yards and setting Carroll up for a makeable second down.
Now Becker's got motion again, back to the short side to this left. Looks, fakes the ball. No, he did hand it off to Hunter. Mertz turns the corner. He angles into Carroll territory somewhere around the 47. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds across the way.
Yeah, good chase on the backside by Snider. And it feels like those Snider backers are getting more in the game, Joe. So that's good defense. But Carroll seems very patient on this drive. But early on, man, Joe, this is a big third down here in the third quarter.
Carroll trying to reach the 44-yard line of Snider on this snap. Becker wants to throw. Short drop being pursued. Flush to his right side. Looks to throw on the runs. Got a catch at the Snider 36-yard line. 1st and 10, Carroll.
And that's what Leighton Mitchell does. Last week, 5 of the 6 catches for Leighton Mitchell, Joe, were on 3rd and 4th down, and they moved the chains. Becker gets in trouble in the pocket, keeps his base, and Mitchell is initially covered, but he gets himself open. Huge conversion for Carroll.
Clock approaching 2.5 minutes time remaining here in the third quarter. Becker again, this time from the right side hash mark. Changes the play off. Still 12 on the play clock. Now walks away.
Going to be a penalty, Joe. We're going to have a false start that time, and Becker saw something he wanted to change to, and the wide receiver on the far end jumped offside, so you can't do that. You can't get in a situation against Snider to get behind on down and distance.
That'll be a walk-off of 5 yards. Both teams heavily penalized last week despite their shutout wins. Snider, a week ago, had 9 penalties for 89 yards. And Carroll, with the win over Bishop Luers, 9 for 90 yards. Here's Becker to throw again. Screens the ball in the wide open spot, left side. Snider right on that. It'll be a gain only to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I like the play call, and I thought that play had a shot. But Dominic Moon, the inside linebacker, shows you the speed, Joe, and runs down that time to make that tackle. How about Moon? I like these backers for Snider. They're getting more involved.
Panthers right now dropping 3 back deep. Now they shift out of it a little bit. 2nd down and 13 coming up. Chargers got the ball at the 40. Becker looking to throw. Running out of time. Steps up. Runs to the 45. Looking, got a block at the 40. 35 spun around out of bounds near sideline.
That's textbook quarterback play, Joe. He hung in the pocket. He slide-stepped in the pocket. He felt the pressure. He stepped up, recognized the coverage. Everybody was covered, tucked the football, and made a positive play. That's a huge play. If he takes a sack there, Joe, the drive is probably over. Now they got a shot on 3rd down here.
We are down to 1:22 remaining in the quarter. 14-7 Snider. Carroll scored first. Panthers have scored the last 14 points of this ball game, but both first touchdowns came in that opening quarter. 3rd down and 7. Becker trying to make a play right now. Here comes the rush. Screens the ball left side. Catch is made, and they've got a 1st down or close to it, down to the 25.
That's a great play call.
Ray Vollmer?
That's Fisher that time, Joe. Preston Fisher out of the backfield. And how about Becker, the patience? It's so hard to throw those screens sometimes because the quarterback, you know you're going to get blasted, but Becker's brave, gets the ball to Fisher. That's a huge conversion.
Chargers converting and on the move now, trying to approach the red zone, and they won't get anywhere this time. Panthers again blocking up the middle.
I tell you, Snider is awesome up front. We talked to
Belazar was there too.
Yeah, that's
help from his friends.
Yeah, Belazar has taken the baton from Lawrence Johnson at that defensive tackle position, and Snider is known through the years of having big, aggressive defensive tackles.
Loss of 2. We're down now to 31 seconds remaining here in quarter 3. 2 wide to the left. The wide side is to the right for Becker. Out of the pistol, has the snap read option, wants to throw. Looking, being pursued again. To his right, throws under. He's got a man on there. There's the ball. Catch is made. Touchdown.
Oh, Mitchell. I can't believe they lost Mitchell. What a play. Leighton Mitchell is covered initially, Joe. Snider loses contain. Becker breaks the pocket, and Mitchell goes for the pylons. And how about that throw on the run? Wow, do we have a football game, my friend. Good teams answer. That was a spectacular touchdown play.
Becker being pursued for his life. Rolling out, was going to be hit. Released just before he was going to hit. Here's the kick on the way, end over end, and we are tied. 14-14 with 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. And we'll step out. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Well, started it with a spectacular catch to open the ball game in the first quarter, and Becker finds him again here on a long situation, 33 yards.
Leighton Mitchell is going to have a reputation of being a big-time wide receiver who makes all the big catches. That was tremendous recognition to get open.
Here comes the kick now. That's a short kick, and it'll come down short. Is that Cameron? No, it's Alonzo Derrick. No, it's Trotter. Cameron Trotter off to the right, crosses the 30, and runs to the middle of the field up to about the 33-yard line with just 7 seconds remaining in this third quarter, but a new game once again.
I thought Trotter was going to get free, but Matthew Ottenweller, that's time for Carroll. Did you see the speed from Matthew Ottenweller that time to run Trotter down? Wow, you talk about good on good, ones on one, speed on one. That's a heck of a special teams play by Ottenweller. Whew, what a game, Joe. Buckle up for the fourth quarter. What a game.
Panthers going to stay with Chance Collier as the running back. They'll have 2 wide to the left side for John Barnes. Read option again, hands it off. Here's Collier, cuts it up across the 40, 45. He's behind the defense. Inside the 30, in a foot race. Inside the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. 20.
Wow.
77 yards on the touchdown blast by Chance Collier.
That's Panther football. They lined up, they run ISO left, and Collier runs through the tackles, and the Snider offensive line just grinds away. So, wow, what a play. ISO left, and Collier takes it to the house. How about that, Joe, as far as responding? What a run.
We just see Olin Roberts. There was a penalty.
I think it's, well, let's see what they got here. If that was late. I thought it was after the play.
I mean, there was nobody downfield because Collier was in a foot race with one Charger to beat. So if that hold occurred, and there is no time remaining in this third quarter, so no touchdown. It's 14-14. We'll sort it out, and we'll head to the, boy, I tell you, Kurt Tippmann is irate. But we'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Is it a hold? Blocking the back? Blocking the back at the end. Yeah.
I would go Clemson. We have no reps. The Falcons play, we talked about the preseason, we haven't repped that enough.
Blocking the back at the end down here.
Why?
And you didn't need the block. He was gone. Oh, they're going to run it all the way back. Oh, my gosh. That's a devastating penalty. Wow. I didn't see it. That flag was all the way at the end, Joe. Whew. End of quarter.
Yeah, I believe end of quarter.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also
touchdown. It's still 14-all. It will be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And they'll run the ball off tackle to the right side. Here it comes again. Collier inside the 10, got it down to the 5, and maybe a couple of yards more as we have a Charger down.
And on that last play, Joe, it was a block in the back, and they called the block in the back inside the 20-yard line as Collier was going for the touchdown. He didn't need the block. He was going to score, but Snider's found something now, Joe. And I think Carroll's getting a little bit tired up front, and Snider's just powering off tackle, and they're running right at Carroll.
Aaron Jackway was the injured Charger, but he is up on his own power, runs off the field. So now it's going to be 1st and goal, Snider, in this 14-14 tie. 1st and goal from the 4. Let's see if it's Collier again, running hard. Tries to test the middle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Yeah,
Carroll grudgingly not giving up any real estate.
Yeah, again, great play from the safety position. Lincoln Lance cheats down and makes the tackle, and this is going to be a battle to get the ball in the end zone. Carroll is playing so hard up front.
Now keep an eye on Dylan Duff. He is wide to the right, the lone wide, flanked out here. He's got man coverage. And here is the read option again, and here's Collier tripped up and rolls maybe down to the 3. That was a nice play. Was that Stuckey again?
Yeah, that was Stuckey making that play.
Tucker Steely.
Yeah, Steely that time making the play. And, excuse me, Joe, I think that was Craig McGinnis, 45. Craig McGinnis is in the game, and that was an awesome play. He doesn't make that tackle, Joe. Collier scores on that.
Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 3. Closer to the right side hash mark. Barnes out of the pistol, read option, rolls to his left, throws. He's got a wide open catch and a touchdown. That was J.D. Wells, 3 yards. Time of the score, 10:30.
After Carroll, you just can't do much. You're selling out, Joe, to stop Collier off tackle, and Barnes quick with the football, finds the big tight end Wells, and Wells makes himself available in the end zone, and that's a good play call with Snider. And if I'm Coach Dinan with Carroll, I'm not mad at that because we were selling out to stop the run, but excellent drive with Snider, and they kept their composure after the penalty.
Right around to attempt the extra point. That is booming kick looks good and is good. So 21-14 Panthers. Official now, but still a long way to go in this one with 10:30 remaining. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
That, but what a battle here tonight between these two unbeatens, and not done yet, although Panthers have forged to a 21-14 lead.
And we'll see if Carroll can answer again.
Panthers kicking off left to right, and here it comes, 3 back and kick return. That will take a bounce, high bounce, fielded at the 15, 20, 25, 30-yard line, 35, penalty flag. I thought I saw thrown. But a good return by the Chargers if it stands up. Maybe I saw some debris being thrown by the crowd.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a penalty on Carroll that time, Joe. It was a big-time return, and I thought that was going to be great field position. It was the defensive back, Jorge Valdez, who makes the return that time, number 8. Only a freshman, Joe, to see him in the game make that play. But how about Valdez getting upfield? But it's going to come back. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be a holding on Carroll. It's going to be a penalty on Carroll, Joe.
So now they're walking off the yardage. And they set it down inside. Notice the football just inside the Charger 20-yard line. So it will be 1st and 10 for Jeffrey Becker. Chargers 80 yards away from trying to get back into a tie. They trail at 21-14.
And if I'm Snider, whatever you do, don't lose Leighton Mitchell.
Remember, almost a year ago to the day, it was a 38-14 Chargers win. Sweep right side. Coming up for Preston Fisher, looking for some running room. Finds a little. That's about it. To the 22, maybe the 23.
Just wasn't anything there, and Fisher planted his outside leg, dropped his pads, and got upfield, Joe, but Snider's tightened up this defense, and Fisher's out there, the senior, running hard, but I think Carroll's going to probably have to put the ball in the air, Joe.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Fisher stays in as the running back, offset a little bit behind to the right of Jeffrey Becker. And here is Becker rolling to his right, looking to throw on the run in traffic, and he tried to lay it in there right at the 33. If it's a catch, it'll be a 1st down.
That's Mason Englert who makes the catch at the wide receiver position. I was concerned. I thought Becker was late with the ball, but you see the arm strength to stick the ball in there. That's a great conversion. That's a great throw on the run by Becker, Joe.
As a former quarterback, you like the ability to hit those tight windows.
And the ability to throw the ball while you're moving.
Becker has a word with his running back now in a new set of downs, 1st and 10. They'll run it ball. And again, Snider stops him right at the pass at the 35.
Yeah, Belizaire has been a force here in the second half, and he's clogging up that middle now for Carroll. So I think Carroll's going to have to probably go back and again attack through the air. But boy, Snider's got defensive tackles. Joe, it just seems like every single year when we see Snider, they've got big defensive tackles.
Panthers show still 2 safeties back. around the 46-yard line. Becker's got motion again to his right side, waiting for that snap. He's got it. And wants to throw in the middle. He's got a catch in the seam right at the 50-yard line.
That's Bransfield making himself available. When Becker can run that play action, and Bransfield at that tight end position can get downfield, 6'3", 220, and Bransfield's deceiving because he can run, Joe, and he has beautiful hands to catch that ball.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. He has got some quicks. So Becker improving field position at midfield now. Motion is to the right side, and here is a run down the right sidelines. And what that play didn't look like it had anything going for it, and all of a sudden, I think that's Morrison down close to the Panther 30.
And I just like the momentum and the tempo of the play calling. And you know Carroll's offensive coordinator, he's an old St. Francis guy, and he's doing a heck of a job calling these plays.
Andy Papagiannis had a great career at the University of St. Francis. 1st and 10 now at the 30-yard line. Here come the Chargers trying to tie the game. Still 8:20 remaining. And again, a run off tackle, and whoo! Did the ball pop free?
He fumbled, Joe. We'll see if Snider got it. I don't know if that ball got out of bounds, but I think Snider covered it. Becker was steaming towards the end zone, Joe, and that's a big-time hit out there by Snider. And it's a question if the ball was recovered in bounds, and they're saying it was. So bookmark that, my friend, with 8 minutes left in the game. That's a huge turnover, and you hate to see it because Becker's running as hard as he can. But again, that second effort, that ball pop out real easy.
Yeah, it looked like Snider will take over the football in the fumble recovery at the Panther 14-yard line. So a missed opportunity for the Chargers who were driving, but they turn it over.
Right now, if I'm Snider, if I can burn some clock and get some first downs and see if I can give my defense a blow.
Now the clock becomes a factor with 8:12 remaining. Here's the throw, though, up the middle, and a catch is made, 40, 45, up close to midfield. Barnes with a quick-hitting strike.
How about the timing again on that play? And that's a great play again, Joe.
Dominic Johnson on the catch.
Yeah, Johnson just makes himself available up the seam. And again, I can't say it enough. Timing. That ball's coming out so fast off of Barnes' hand.
Play is good for 36 yards and a first down to midfield. Now, let's see. Barnes hands it off, a cut to the left side, and good running by this third running back we've seen here tonight for the Panthers, Chance Collier.
Yeah, Chance Collier's running hard, and the ability to cut and to keep those pads low and to get downfield, but that's a huge penalty. We're going to get holding that time on the big tackle, Holtz, and that's a devastating penalty for Snider, Joe, because that's going to back them all the way back to 1st and 20 and hurt them with the momentum after that big catch by Johnson. So now a chance for Carroll maybe to get a stop and get off the field and get the ball one more time.
Panthers had a couple of big plays, but the second one hurts. Penalty will move them back. The ball will be spotted at the Panther 40-yard line. Clock now down to 7:44 and moving. Too wide to the right side. Barnes out of the pistol. Blitz coming up the middle. He rolls to his right side, buys time, throws on the run. Derrick on the catch, up to about the 49.
Again, timing on the play, gets the ball out there. And how about Vollmer? Ray Vollmer gives up the pass, but he's willing to give that up, Joe, as long as he comes up and makes the tackle. And Vollmer puts him down quick. So a little bit of pitch and catch for Snider, for Derrick on that to get some of that yards back. But again, big series. Let's see if Carroll can get a stop.
J.D. Wells caught a big pass earlier in the ball game. He's in tight to the left side. Dominic Johnson stays in. Two tight ends. Johnson to the right. And two wideouts to the left side, the wide side of the field for John Barnes. He's managed the game very well tonight. But this time, Collier, hog-tied. I tell you what,
Craig McGinnis.
DJ Moore, Joe, tried to help out.
Yeah.
And just there was no help to be had.
Craig McGinnis came in the game in the second half at linebacker, number 45. And he has been awesome, Joe. That time, he slices through the offensive line and he wraps Collier up immediately. So now, huge third down. If I'm Carroll, I maybe bring some heat here, but try to keep the guys in front of me. Just make the tackle and get off the field.
Panthers trying to take as much of that clock off that they can. We're down to 6:10 remaining. It's third down and 13, a long 13. Barnes to throw. Time of the pocket. Looks left, throws, tip ball in the air, and it falls incomplete. It'll bring up fourth down with exactly 6 minutes remaining this ball game, and Carroll will have another chance.
I know what Barnes was doing there, Joe. He had the square in, and he was trying to fit it in there, but that coverage by Ray Vollmer was awesome. Ray Vollmer is an all-conference cornerback, and if you don't believe me, watch the tape tonight. The ability to close and make that play, so a big stop. So let's see if Carroll can get some field position, maybe for one more drive.
Hunter Mertz is back deep, waits inside the Charger 20-yard line. Here comes the rush, and that got the kick away. Mertz has got to let it bounce. Takes a high bounce right at the 25. Comes back upfield for about a yard or so to the 26. So here come the Chargers now with 5:52 remaining in this ball game in regulation.
And I think missing the right tackle for Carroll, Joe, Maxton Green being out of the game has affected them some with the run game. But on that last series for Carroll, they just stopped themselves with the fumble. So I like the run-pass option, keeping the ball in Jeffrey Becker's hands. He's been awesome tonight, and if I'm Snider, whatever you do, I don't lose Leighton Mitchell on the outside. I stick with him.
Chargers 73 yards away from a possible tie. 21-14 Panthers, inside of 6 minutes time remaining. Panthers show blitz now that backs off. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Here's a run near side. And it'll be a run up across to the 30-yard line. Just give them another half a yard close to the 31.
Tough yards by Preston Fisher. And, you know, Carroll didn't have their starting tailback tonight, Evan Harris, who had 20 carries for 90 yards. He was awesome last week. But how about the tough yards by Preston Fisher? And if Fisher doesn't run so hard, you know, Snider wouldn't be so honest on defense.
Second down, 7. Carroll with the ball, moving right to left. Again, blitz coming. Now it drops off. A roll to the right side. Becker looks, throws on the run, and has a completion up around the 40-yard line. That'll be good for a Carroll first down.
Pitch and catch with Mason Englert, the junior. Englert goes 5'11", 175. And what I love about that, Joe, he gets himself open, and he turns and gives Becker his numbers. Excellent execution for Carroll.
2 catches last week, 15 yards against Bishop Luers at the 4:55 mark now. Becker again out of the gun and calls his own number. Woo! And he runs into trouble, but he's not down. Spun off of it. He'll have a positive gain up across the 45-yard line. Joe, how did he get away? He was nailed.
I don't know. Maybe Becker should raise his number. When you run that hard, I tell you what, it's hard to be a single number 9 when you run that hard. They should give him 32. He runs through Nick Pesley, Snider's middle linebacker, and Pesley's about the best Snider has and makes a huge play, Joe. Whew.
Second down after a gain of about 6. Second down and 4. Chargers at...
I thought Paisley had him, Joe.
Peasley,
excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me get the name right. Peasley fills the hole, and he's some of the best linebackers that Snider has, but Becker just runs through him. And on that replay, Joe, you could see the second effort that we saw on the replay with Becker fighting for those extra yards. You can see how much this game means for these kids.
Gain 6, second down and 4. Clock at 4:09. Becker under pressure. Look, steps up, throws on the run. Looking near side's got a man. The catch is made out of bounds. That was Englert that made the catch. If it stands up, it'll be 1st and 10 inside the Panthers, somewhere around the 20.
Are you kidding me? That was a fantastic play in the pocket. Becker's dead for rights in the pocket, steps up in the pocket, and again it's Englert who gets open. What a play on the flag route, Joe. That's a huge pass play for Carroll.
In the red zone are the Chargers now, and they'll look to run the ball. Hunter Mertz tests the B gap between the left guard and tackle. And straight ahead carry takes the clock down inside of 4 minutes to 3:50, and the clock is moving.
Jeffrey Becker, you talk about maybe a star is born tonight. That was a fantastic, that play before, Joe, but what a feel for the game. Well, let's see if Carroll can cash in.
Gain is 2, second down and 8. A little motion again back to the near side behind the line of scrimmage as Becker being collapsed on, and they got him this time. A sack back around the 28-yard line.
And that's Cameron Trotter.
Side.
Yeah, Cameron Trotter. And Trotter delayed on the blitz, Joe, and Becker thought he had more time, and Trotter did something that I'm trying to coach up my junior football league players. He wrapped him up. Becker's strong. Becker can run through tackles. Trotter that time wrapped him up, and now we have a huge third down, and that really backs Carroll up.
Isaiah Maxwell was in there for the stop as well. The loss is back to the 26. It's third down and 17, and obviously Carroll with under 3 minutes, they've got to go for it if they come up short here. Becker out of the gun. No drop, throws the flag to the right side. He's got a man out there. The ball is caught.
Oh!
Wow! That 26 yards on the touchdown. The flag patterned to the right side, and we are a conversion away from a tie game.
Looked like Leighton Mitchell again on that play. How about that pass? Wow, and Snider gets burned, Joe, and I saw that play, and I was wondering why Snider was up so tight. And how about the timing of Becker? You see the ability to run in the pocket, and that time you see the ability to drop the ball in the bucket on the fade, and another big play in the Carroll passing game.
Chargers won't go away. Now for the tie. Kick is low. It's no good. I don't know if somebody got a hand on it, but Horton could not get the conversion, and Snider still leads by 1 with 2:36 remaining. And we'll be back to Spiller Stadium. Panthers by 1. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 the ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill.
On that ball and tipped that ball, Joe, but that's a shame because we'd have a tied game right now.
Snider not expecting anything deep, expecting possibly an onside attempt. Here we go. Here comes the kick. They do kick it deep. Deshaun Underwood just catches the ball, runs out of bounds at about the 25. Not taking any kind of a chance with 2:34 remaining. His team leading it by 1. And the Panthers now, they'll be trying to gain a couple of first downs, and protect is the word.
Yeah, and that's the question now. Can we line up, if I'm Snider, can we line up in our power game and run the ball and get a first down? I don't put the ball in the air, Joe. I just run the ball right at Carroll, and let's see if Carroll can hang in here. And if I'm Carroll linebackers, I'm cheating up trying to make that tackle.
We've got something going on out here. Well, I see what it is. Carroll was having their defensive team out, and
I think Randy Holtz was fired up. And
Ray Vollmer.
Yeah, Ray Vollmer was out there to play defense, and I think Randy Holtz was all ready to block him, Joe.
They were helmet to helmet.
They were helmet to helmet.
1st and 10. Barnes trying to protect now. Looks to hand the ball off. Here's a cut to the right side. Carroll chasing it. Gain across the 30 to about the 32. Getting spirited out there now with 2:22 remaining.
It's getting chippy out there. Carroll's really frustrated because they want to get Collier down. But what a spark he's brought for Snider, Joe, in the backfield in the second half.
They'll spot that ball just short of the Panther 35. It will be a gain of 8 yards. Second down and short. Panthers in the driver's seat now, as Joe Walburn gets ready to make his way down to field level. Barnes content. Clock inside of 2 minutes. Play clock down to 5. John going to take it all the way down as far as he can. Looks to hand it off again. Collier up the middle. He's got a first down. Spins to the 40. Well, Joe mentioned it. This young man has been a big boost. And Kurt Tipman, he's got Letty Bennett the start. Brought in Cameron Trotter, ran hard, has the side and the bulk. And how about Chance Collier here in the second half? 3 outstanding running backs, all with different little characteristics they bring to the game of high school football. 1st and 10. Now we're down inside of 90 seconds. Carroll desperately needs a turnover here. Still 10 on the play clock. Game clock down a minute 15. Now they set the team down. Collier again trying to slide off to the right. There's a penalty flag thrown. Collier slid off a tackle across the 40, got to the 42. We'll check the flag if there is a flag down there. There is one at the 42-yard line across the way, holding against Snider. That stops the clock with 1:03 remaining. Well, we've learned so many years it's never over till it's over, especially when these two teams tangle. A year ago, it was Carroll that stunned Snider, 38-14. Panthers got revenge in the tournament, knocking out the Chargers. Penalty moves the ball back to the 32-yard line. Chargers thought they were going to make a couple of personnel changes. Now let's see, we are going to have a timeout called by Carroll. 21-20, Panthers by 1 with the football when we return to Spiller Stadium. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th.
Hold on to the football. And Doug Dinan said, we got to get it back, fellas. Here we go again. Barnes out of the pistol. Looks. Hands to Collier. He's got running room. 40, 45. All the way up short of midfield to the 48, 49-yard line. Clock will stop while they move the chains, but tell you what, Chance Collier with that couple of blast runs here today. And we'll have another timeout called by the Chargers. That's their second. So that'll stop the clock with 54 seconds remaining. We'll be back again. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. Not sure where you're at, BJ, but if you need to steal from that first block of spots right at the end of the game, go.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life. Collier picks up 9 yards to bring up second down and 1.
Panthers at their own 49. Looking good right now. Collier again cuts to his right, weaves his way up. Got to the 40, back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he had more running room. So that will spot it still at the 49. Clock stopped with 49 seconds remaining. And it will be third down, as that will be the third and final timeout taken by Carroll. So it all boils down to this snap coming up when we return. 21-20 Snider. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork.
And now we're down to 3rd and 1 with Cameron Trotter checking in a full house backfield. And here is the give. Trotter sliding out. He's got the first down. And that may do it. Still with 44 seconds to play, but and now penalty flags thrown as the skirmish continues at the Carroll 45. So we'll separate things out. See what the penalty is going to be about. And we've got an injury for Snider. It's Cameron Trotter comes up limping heavily. So these Panthers going over close to their bench. Olin Roberts, our referee, with two of his officials discussing. They've separated the two teams. 38 seconds remain. The lead is 1 for the Panthers. Roberts now is going to let us know, is there a personal foul assessed? Personal foul, Carroll. Apparently, after the whistle had blown, trying to get that football free. And that penalty is going to take the football down to the Carroll 30-yard line. Chargers out of timeouts. All Snider needs to do now is snap the ball, and probably one more snap will do it. Trotter went out, and has been such a force earlier in the ball game. You hope he's going to be all right. Meanwhile, Chance Collier looks like he's coming back into the backfield for the Panthers. And trust me, they have lost nothing tonight with the running backs. First Lenny Bennett, then Cameron Trotter. And now, mostly in the second half, Chance Collier, all have performed well. Well, we've had the penalty assessed, but still not ready to play football. Panthers do huddle up, and believe now the words have been, let the guys who are in the final dying moments, let's keep it clean. Got to be a heartbreaking loss if it ends this way for the Carroll Chargers, who battled back and were within a extra point conversion of tying up the football game. It'll be the victory formation now, and Barnes, and now another penalty as both teams were lined up. It goes against Snider. Clock, meanwhile, ran down to 31 seconds. I don't know if they'll put any more time back on the clock. We'll be checking down with our Parkview Sports Medicine interview from the field, and Barnes takes a knee. Looks like he's going to have to take one more snap, though. It's still 13 on the play clock, 18 on the game clock. Although, I think the officials have called it a game, and that's going to do it. 21-20, Panthers survive. Well, a great way to win a game and a tough way to lose one. Joe Walburn will be looking for Kurt Tipman on the field below. See if you're ready, Joe.
Coach, congratulations. Be right with you, Joe. Coach is still fired up.
Yeah. He wants to, good sportsmanship. He wants to meet Doug Dinan, some of the other coaches. We'll stay with Joe as soon as he gets a chance.
Coach, congratulations. What a win. That felt like a playoff atmosphere, that game, and what a win for you guys to fight through that. That was a heck of a high school football game, played hard by both teams.
Absolutely. I would, Carroll, man, that was a hard-fought game by those guys. Played their tails off. They're a good team, really good team, and that was a classic battle. Really proud of our guys, though, for finding a way to win, and that's, when you play good teams, you got to find a way to win, especially early in the season when things haven't been, solidified into how we're executing and that kind of stuff.
And it felt like that. You found a way to win, and it felt like Chance Collier gave you a spark, and that Snider football, that just physical toughness in the second half seemed like it was just enough offensively to get you guys over the hump.
Well, we got three guys that are capable back there, and when one's feeling it, we're going to keep feeding him.
And defensively, Becker was outstanding tonight for Carroll, the quarterback, but it felt like you guys made just enough plays defensively to win the game.
Absolutely, and hung in there and made a good defensive block on the kick. We got some things to fix, and he's a good player. They put a lot on his shoulders, so it'll be fun playing against him for the next 3 years.
Lastly, tonight you celebrate Coach Russ Bush, all the history, all the culture and the tradition of your program. What does it mean to you, Coach, to be the head coach and get a big win tonight when you see guys like Coach Bush and Coach Isaacs out there?
Well, Coach Bush means the world to me in this program, and it's kind of appropriate that the game ends kind of like this. That's a Snider football win, and that's what he was, tough as nails. He just epitomized what we try to teach, and all the kids, work hard, care about your teammates, and Coach Bush was, the model of that for 48 years. 48 years. Nobody does that stuff. Committed to this program and our school. It is awesome that our kids get to hear that story and meet him and know who he is, and someday, want to be like that.
Congratulations, Coach. That's a big-time win. There you go, Joe. He was fired up down here, and him and Coach Dinan were still hungry. I tell you what, that's a heck of a high school football game, Joe.
Joe Walburn down on the field with Kurt Tipman celebrating this hard-fought Snider win. They hold on. The blocked extra point was the difference. Panthers win it 21-20. We're coming back with our Walburn Financial Management postgame show. Much more. We'll be talking about our Parkview Sports Medicine play of the game, and we'll see what else we've got in store for you as we get ready for next week as well. But here, the Panthers clawed out their way to a 21-20 victory. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Factory invoice. Every vehicle on our entire lot at Glenbrook Hyundai. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons. Every new Hyundai on our lot, thousands and thousands off MSRP. Actual factory invoice plus credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you get up to $30,000 in credit. 30 grand. You pick the vehicle. We hand you the actual factory invoice. That's all you pay. You can get out of your lease or loan today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Brand new Elantras, brand new Tucsons. Every new Hyundai on our lot, thousands and thousands off MSRP. Every vehicle, actual factory invoice. Shop online with streamlined purchasing at GlenbrookHyundai.com or come in for a flexible test drive. Think Hyundai. Glenbrook Hyundai on Coldwater Road next to Red Lobster. Call 800 Hyundai. GlenbrookHyundai.com. GlenbrookHyundai.com.
With so many deals on the new $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's, it's like there's levels to the value. Level 1. Any size soft drink, McChicken, or small fries, just $1. Level 2. Order up a triple cheeseburger for only $2. Level 3. Or level up to amazing value with a $3 bundle. A McDouble and medium fries or ranch snack wrap and medium fries, just $3. Yum. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Bigger than any box score,
Local sports are a victory for the entire community. Building up leaders, breaking down barriers, connecting generations, teaching integrity, blazing a trail, sparking our economy. That's why Meijer sponsors hundreds of local sports teams throughout the Midwest. From Little League to the big leagues, uniforms to stadiums, Meijer knows when we support the home team, we all win.
Everyone knows that winter is coming, and when it does come, it's the wind and cold air that really chill your home. Momper Insulation can keep the cold out by sealing the leakage points and filling empty sidewalls, even through masonry or siding, without unsightly holes or blemishes. They're also experts at insulating crawl spaces, attics, and any place the cold could get in and ruin your winter. Let Momper seal your house, saving you 30 to 50% off your heating bill. Call today for a free energy audit before it's too late. Momper Insulation.
At Flagstar Bank, we know quality doesn't come from taking shortcuts. That's why Flagstar bankers work with you and take the time to get to know your goals. At Flagstar, we understand that listening to your needs goes into crafting something truly special. Your success. It may not be the easy solution, but at Flagstar, you can always trust that it's the right one for you. Flagstar Bank. What solutions can we craft for you? Flagstar Bank is an equal house.
Was the message from Coach Tittman at halftime? It felt like Carroll had some momentum. What was the message and some of the adjustments that Coach Tittman?
Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple.
Really went down to the wire, and you know, football's a funny game. You play 48 minutes, and you have touchdowns, and you have extra points, and you know, the emotions are up, emotions are down, and it comes down in the final analysis here tonight to an extra point conversion, and the Panthers found a way. As looked like we were going to go into a 21-21 tie, but somebody got a hand on that extra point kick, and instead Snider comes away with a 21-20 victory. And great win for Kurt Tippmann and this Panther crowd on a very emotional night, honoring Russ Bush and with Jesse Bates in attendance. But, you know, Doug Dinan, Chargers came in here focused. They had their game face on, and they were ready to do whatever it took to try to get this win here tonight. And they came within an eyelash of, you know, it was you talked about it earlier, two heavyweights duking it out, punch, counter punch.
It sure was. It was two heavyweights, and Coach Dinan is a fabulous high school coach. I thought Carroll came out here with such a level of intensity, and I thought that really was a reflection of their coach. But even after the game, Joe, I think Carroll and Snider wouldn't have had a problem playing all over again. I mean, you just love the intensity, and these are two teams that are probably going to see each other possibly in the playoffs. But that was an intense game. That felt like a playoff game for me. I felt like Snider punched Carroll in the mouth, and in years past, Carroll may not have had an answer. Carroll had an answer tonight, and I'm telling you, there is very little difference between those two teams, and people forget Coach Dinan was an awesome offensive lineman for Snider, so he's got that Snider blood. So when Snider comes over and they go at it, that was a heck of a game, and even after the post-game interviews, that was intense, and I love it. That's high school football, and really, it felt appropriate because this is probably one of the most intense games we have, and who are we celebrating tonight? Coach Bush, right? Just felt like that, didn't it, Joe?
You know, the key for Carroll now is looking back last year, they were 2-1. They had beaten Snider 38-14, then they lost 6 of their final 7 ball games, so they only had 3 wins on the year. And now this is the turning point. And how does Coach get his team to rally, getting ready for the next ball game next Friday night, as they'll have the second straight road game playing at Chambers Field against the Legends of Northside. So that's going to be really the litmus test, if you will, about how this season is going to go for Carroll. We got to keep reminding ourselves, Joe, we're just in week 2 of this brand new high school football season.
And you make a great point, and you're absolutely right. How is Carroll going to respond to that? And if I'm Coach Dinan, my message is let's not let Snider beat us twice. But going into the season, a lot of us in the media, and I was one included, felt like maybe Homestead, Dwenger, and Snider, and then it was a drop-off. Oh, no, you got to put Carroll in that equation. Carroll was awesome tonight. Jeffrey Becker as a sophomore, that was one of the best high school football games I've seen a sophomore play. Composure, made all the big throws, Joe, ran the ball, and Carroll's front 4 lived up to its billing. They gave Snider all they could to win that football game.
Well, we have a long way to go here in our Walburn Financial Management postgame show. Let's step out once again, and we'll be back with a scoring recap, and we'll talk about some of the scores elsewhere and set the stage for next week when we go to New Haven. But here tonight, Panthers by 1, 21-20. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket. Okay, we'll run that 3-minute break. Then a final 3-minute.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th at Trine University.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Parson here, and we take a look at this game recap. And you know, both teams put touchdowns on the board in the first quarter. Nobody scored in the second quarter. 7-7 at halftime. Both teams with scores in quarter three. We are tied up at 14 all, and the Panthers would take the lead at 21-14, and with just 2:36 remaining, Carroll with a touchdown to draw within one, but they could not get the extra point, and Snider wins at 21-20. All started, and we saw a little bit of everything in the start of this ball game. Joe Walburn, we saw an interception by the Panthers that gave Snider a chance at the Carroll 43. They couldn't get it done, though. Could not get points on the board, as then we had a fourth down stop, and it was Carroll with a chance, but they could not get points and any kind of significant drive going. But Jeffrey Becker would find a way. With 4:59 remaining, he would roll to his right and put a pass with a lot of error into the right corner of the end zone to our right as we looked at it. Becker to Leighton Mitchell for a touchdown as he caught it just before he reached the end line. Good for 26 yards. Horton would act the extra point, and Carroll on the road would grab an early 7-0 lead. But Barnes to Alonzo Derrick, good for 15 yards at the 1:45 mark of the first half. Actually, of the first quarter. Ryder would act the extra point, and we were tied at 7 all. No scoring in the second quarter. Teams went to the halftime dressing room in a 7-7 tie. We had a fumble recovery, and no damage out of that. Another fourth down stop would take over at the Snider 36, and it would lead to a big play. Our Parkview Sports Medicine play of the game is John Barnes, with 4:25 remaining in the third quarter, would load up, and he would find a streaking Dilton Duff down field. And for that Dylan Duff, I should say, good for 53 yards into the left corner of the end zone. Ryder with the extra point, and Snider had its first lead of the night at 14-7. But with just 15 seconds remaining, it would be Becker, and he would respond with a 33-yard pass down to who else but Mitchell. Leighton Mitchell once again. Extra point was knocked through. We were tied at 14 all. Barnes would throw 3 yards to J.D. Wells at the 10:30 mark in the fourth quarter. Advantage Panthers 21-14 after Ryder's extra point. Then it was, what are we going to have down the stretch? Jeffrey Becker was not done, as he would find Mitchell again, 26 yards with a scoring strike at the 2:36 mark. It all boiled down to an extra point to try to tie the game up, potentially send it to overtime, but Snider broke through, just got a fingertip on the ball. The extra point was no good. That's the way this game ends, 21-20 in favor of Snider. Let's take our final timeout, and we're coming back with Joe. We'll check scores elsewhere and also the week ahead, as our Friday Night Lights feature next week takes us to New Haven. Here tonight, Panthers with the win. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Homestead rolled, Dwanger rolled. Lures is beating Wayne, though. I know, BJ. Our poor South Side, right? It was close.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And
tonight against the Carroll Chargers. Joe, how about elsewhere?
Yeah, other scores elsewhere. I hate to report it. Northrop gets a late touchdown, beats Southside 14-8. And I tell you, we saw Northrop last week, and I thought Northrop had some nice pieces. I like their running back, Jeremiah Green, but that's a big win for Northrop. You don't want to lose 2 in a row, and you don't want to start 0-2 in this conference because you can get rolled. As far as other scores, Bishop Lures is hanging on late. A little bit of a surprise to me. 26-18 over Wayne. So, hey, give it up to those Lures kids. They get taken out to the woodshed by Carroll, but they suck it up, and they have that Lures pride, and they rally, and it looks like Lures is going to beat Wayne. That's tough for Wayne because all of a sudden Wayne's 0-2 in the conference. Homestead rolls. We were curious what Concordia could do with Homestead. The surprise in the Homestead-Concordia game was Concordia was held to 6 points. 35 points for Homestead. So Homestead's off to a fast start, 2-0. They rolled. How about Bishop Dwanger, 36-0, breaking in that new stadium, and in a real style with a big win like that with the shutout. So Northside beaten down hard twice in 2 weeks by Snider and Dwanger. How will Northside regroup? How will Wayne regroup? Looks like Northrop and Lures have some momentum. So big games. Dwanger's 2-0. Homestead's 2-0, and Snider's 2-0. But I tell you, keep an eye on Carroll. That was impressive tonight, Joe. And so far, those were 2 of the better high school football teams we've seen the last few years. Great football game tonight, and it was a pure honor to be able to call this game tonight.
And this game was an absolute war out there at Spooler Stadium. As far as the Chargers, as we mentioned, their second straight road game next week. They'll play at Chambers Field against Northside. Snider, they're also on the road. They play at Zollner Stadium, taking on the Cadets on Friday night. As far as our Friday night light feature, we'll move to really a place that we enjoy going at least once, maybe twice a year. John Young Field, John Young Stadium on the campus of New Haven High School. The Bulldogs will host the DeKalb Barons. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff, and it'll be interesting to see how. I know New Haven was down at Mississinawa, and that's always a tough matchup, as we remember from last year.
Yeah, Mississinawa was awesome last year, but New Haven had a tough loss in Week 1 against South Bend Riley. Just missed a field goal. They could have won that game. And quietly, DeKalb is building their program. Don't sleep on DeKalb. A good win over Angola last week, but DeKalb is getting more physical, putting the time in the weight room, and that's going to be a good matchup next week, Joe.
Big Northeast battle will be there at John Young Stadium, New Haven, taking on DeKalb. Here tonight, the Panthers survive. They hold on and win it 21-20. For Tommy Norris and Joe Walburn and BJ Steele back in the studio, my name's Joe Parson. Until next Friday night from New Haven, so long, everybody, and thanks so very much for listening.
Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
Give your home the curb appeal it deserves, and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code SummitCity for 15% off all power washing services today. That's kurtzmio.com, supporting the youth of Fort Wayne.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Parkview Ortho Express is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call 260-266-4007 for more information. Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Keep your skills on point and take advantage of the Always 100 basketball camps. The Holiday Hoops Developmental Camp is for ages pre-K through 8th grade. You'll work on shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense December 24th through January the 2nd on Tuesday and Thursdays. And the Always 100 Pro Camp 2020 takes you to the next level. It's the real college experience for grades 1 through 12. It's June 8th through June 11th at Trine University.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit Summit City